So much, you may even get tired of winning, and you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Astrolabe. Gluten Doodle says it's my first lab in a while. Well, it's good to be here with you. Thank you for joining us. I got some fun stuff tonight. There's probably less serious stuff in the stack tonight than like the ratio of I don't know, just like fun or like slop is tilted one way, and then there's some of the serious stuff. It's more in the slop direction tonight. But I got a bunch of fun stuff put together here, and I'm just going until my sister is ready to be picked up from work. So it'll probably be about 2 hours or so. That is what I am guessing, plus or minus. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully it is inspiring and entertaining, and we'll see what fun stuff comes of it. I ended up getting a big strike of inspiration last night. I was up working, and I'm putting together this new interview show that I'm going to be launching as like a companion show alongside the Lab, because I've got some people I want to talk to and a specific angle that I want to take on it, and I'm been working on it. So I got down a big rabbit hole with the Grockler last night and made a bunch of plans, came up with a bunch of ideas, and I'm very, very excited about them. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be creating a second YouTube account for the interview show, and the idea with this is that it's going to be something that is perhaps can conquer the algorithmic suppression a little bit better, and maybe be more of like a funnel to the Lab. So the Lab, I know, is kind of a format that's hard to get into. It's on a platform that's difficult. That's a pain. I'm exasperated with Kick, but so there's reasons I have to stick with it, reasons I don't want to stick with it. It's the life wandering in the wilderness of a man who just wants to speak freely. I just want to do the show that I want to do and say the things that I want to say, and I don't want to operate within constraints. But the technical constraints are very frustrating. So yeah, I'm going to create a second YouTube channel, and it would be I would love every single one of you if, as soon as I create it and drop it out there, please do go follow it. What's the YouTube terminology? Is it subscribing? Like in some places, subscribe is the thing that you do for free, and in some places, subscribe is the thing that you do not for free. Yeah, go over and engage with the channel. I need to get as many followers, subscribers, whatever the term is. I have to get to 500 to be able to qualify for certain kinds of like monetization and stuff, and then 1,000 is the big number. So I'll need 1,000 subs over there, and I'm hoping. I think my current YouTube channel is probably going to be hopelessly buried under the algorithm for the foreseeable future. And really, the purpose of the Lab, I think, is for it's a daily variety. It's constantly going, and more long form, a little harder to just sort of jump into. But the interviews should be easier, more marketable. Make this operation a little more official. and start branching out. And I've already got a list of at least a dozen people that I'm lining up to start doing interviews. So I'm thinking it'll probably be somewhere 1 to 2 a week, something like that. We'll see how quickly I can get them all lined up and scheduled, and how I can do all that. So stay tuned for those things. So today I've got a bunch of things. I got just a whole bunch of stuff. Let's just dive into it. Thank you to Gaga for resubscribing over on Kick. Thank you for the kicks, Pale Morning Dude. And then we've got a couple of tips that have come in so far. First of all, from Benjamin.
White man is back, baby. The white man is back.
For the white pills.
Thank you for the $50, sir. Benjamin, white man is back for the white pills. You're a patriot, sir. I appreciate you. And the Dr. Doom guy showed up. I said, Dr.
Perfect gift.
Money.
And he didn't say anything. He just let Amy and I hear Amy and Eastwood's voice. I got to do it again.
The perfect gift.
Money.
That was the second one. There was for Amy and also for me. Thank you for the $29, Dr. Doom guy. You, sir, are a patriot as well. Oh, is the soundboard not working? Come on! What is going on?
A shekel for a good guy.
There we go. The perfect gift, money. Yes, please do support your streamer. Things are perpetually tight, and the show takes a lot of time. And all the time that's spent in it isn't necessarily the time spent in front of you guys. So I need to keep the hourly rate high enough to continue justifying all of it, and hopefully the interview show will help with that. So every little bit counts. Thank you very much to you guys. Rent is due on Monday. Please go to tips.kingpill.com and keep a roof over my family's head and keep my wife happy so that I can keep doing this with you guys and hopefully add more things. So tips.kingpill.com. You can also go to Cash App or Venmo at Kingpill for both of those. Just let me know if you do, and I'll make sure that gets factored into the total. And, of course, go to forum.kingpill.com and sign up in case we do hit the goal tonight. Then I will do a drawing, and someone will get 10% of the total tip take sent to them in the form of a digital gift card. Now, let us get started. First one. Hurt is not an original by Johnny Cash. The song was written by Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails in 1994 for the album The Downward Spiral. Real ones already know this. Rick Rubin had to insist several times on Cash recording his version. At first, Johnny found the idea completely insane because the original version is industrial and noisy. At 71, already very ill, almost blind and with trembling hands, Cash completely transformed the band. The iconic video, directed by Mark Romanek, was filmed at the House of Cash, his own museum. June Carter Cash appears looking at him fondly. The video was shot in February of 2003, a few months before she died in May, and Johnny himself in September. Trent Reznor was so moved that he declared, "This song is not mine anymore." It's considered one of the best covers of all time. And we were in the pre-show Labe chat the other day, we were just talking about good covers, the best covers. And then this popped up on my timeline. So perfect. Yes, Nevsky, we can see your comments.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all. My
Stay the hell away from me, you hear?
I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, the feelings disappear. You are someone else. I am still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself. I would find a way.
That is a masterpiece. Yeah, T-Con said that, let me get this exact. He said, Rick Rubin is evidence that we can't just kick them out. Dude is a legend producer. Absolutely. Absolutely. Imagine not being from the country that produced Johnny Cash. Imagine that. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. That man, that's an American right there. My wife says we share an anniversary with Father Moses and his wife. Their anniversary is yesterday, too. Look at us. Look at us. Many years to them. How great. That moved me. This one also moved me. Speaking of patriots.
Hey, I love being drunk. I know a lot of you on here won't agree with it. Some of you will, but I love getting fucked up. I love being drunk. I love life, but I love being drunk. I'm a goddamn drunk alcoholic, and I love being drunk. I go to work when I need to. I pay my damn bills most of the time.
Most of the time.
I just love being a drunk. A lot of people won't admit it. They're closet drinkers. They need to come out of the closet like they did years ago in that other world, that other kind of life that some people live, not me. But yes, I love being a drunk, y'all. I love getting drunk, walking around out here in the woods, not knowing what the hell's going on in the world around me. I just don't care sometimes because I just love drinking, y'all. I love it. And I know that this is going to chap some people's asses. That's why I do it. But I'm telling you the truth, y'all. I love being drunk. Do y'all understand that? I love it. I mean, that's who I am. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Stay drunk. Give it hell. Give life hell. You only got one go. Do it. Make the best of it.
The second best thing that you're going to hear all day. The first best thing was the thing you just heard. That is the second best thing you're going to hear all day. That is an American right there. That man has mastered the art of retard maxing. Stay drunk, give it hell. You only got one go. What a patriot. Now, for whatever reason, recently, my my algorithm has decided that I need to see Gypsy Crusader clips. And over the last couple of days, I've gone down a couple of rabbit holes just watching Gypsy Crusader clips. And they're just so funny. So I picked out a couple that stood out to me that I enjoyed. Here's the first one.
Hello.
What is that shirt there?
It's my Yan 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 cat shirt. Like the cat was like a Pop-Tart.
Oh, I thought it was like an LGBTQ thing.
No, I hate faggots. Hell
I just died of your arms.
Now I gotta tell you, young bloods. I gotta tell you. Stay away. This woman is fucking psycho. I know this is bait. This is bait right here. This is how they're trying to get you. This is how they're trying to take you down. You need to protect your vital essence. You need to protect it. I'm telling you. You gotta. It takes living life to get this. But this chick, it's like if you go out on a date with a chick and she starts talking to you about like Holocaust revisionism or something. You need to know that is a massive red flag. This bitch is psycho. You need to run away very, very quickly. I can't fix her. She's not broken. That's true. Shocked Lego guy emoji for the chats. Very good point. Let me make a note of that, Lurch. Shocked Lego guy emoji for chats. One of the greatest things ever. The saved messages channel on Telegram. I don't know how people don't use Telegram. The saved messages channel alone is just God's greatest gift to mankind. It's worth it. Ride the tiger. I'll tell you, if you ride the tiger, you're going to get yourself some stories. His face is so perfect, though. And then this one was really funny as well. The man is popular. The man has a large fan base.
Oh my God.
What?
Paul Miller. I'm watching your stream.
Wait. Say my name again. Oh, thank you for watching, Chang.
Good morning here from China.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Does everybody know Paul Miller in China?
Okay, I will tell you something. You are very famous in Chinese TikTok.
If I come to China, when I walk down the street, is everyone gonna like lose their minds?
Yes, absolutely. You are very
Get the fuck out of
famous.
here.
It's true. You are very famous.
Oh, that is crazy.
Our mirror.
Let's get a picture for Chinese TikTok, me and you. And you post
Yes,
it.
let me take a screenshot.
Okay, let's do it.
We're bringing the world together. Paul Miller is Donald Trump's greatest soldier, uniting the Chinese and the American empires in a bond of peace. Now that's my type of multiculturalism. And then a slightly different tenor of interaction.
Tranny nigger. I know it. I could tell. I could already tell. Wait, I got something. I just want to make sure that, we get it right. Because a lot of times I run across you guys. Okay, now we're good. So, what's it like being a tranny faggot nigger?
You don't want to see something?
What are you talking about?
Do you want to see something, yes or no?
See what?
Do you want to see something, yes or no?
I'm already seeing the most degenerate thing that the Jews have ever created. Trump's a Jew! Oh my God, the hair playing is crazy. It is so crazy. You are absolutely pathetic. So how many sexually transmitted diseases do you have so far?
First of all, I'm not even trans, but thank you for the compliment because trans girls are pretty. I'm just a film boy. I could just
you look like.
You're gay.
I could be trans too.
Sorry, not faggy enough.
Oh my God, this nigger took off the whole wig. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead.
Wait for it.
I can be trained too.
You see it? You see it break character. It breaks character as soon as it sees the flag.
I can be trained too.
Oh my god. Now you just look like this without the wig, nigger. Now you just look like this without the wig. Oh my.
It's crazy watching these with him and seeing just how many people he of all sorts of different backgrounds and shapes and sizes and stuff who freak the fuck out as soon as they connect with him and they know who he is and they all love him. All the like teenage white girls, which this is I have these clips next to each other. All the like teenage white girls all think that he's amazing. They just want to see the Nazi flag behind him. They want to hear him say the no words so they can he's got a bunch of black guys who love him. As soon as they see him, they're like, "Oh, say it." Then obviously the Chinese love him, and then even the Jews. Like he'll get connected with Jews sometimes that are that. Like some of them will cuss him out and flip him off and get all mad and everything, but then some of them are like, "Oh yeah," and they start making jokes back and forth with him. It's really it reminds me of the thing with Chud the Builder, where the actual realities on the ground with regard to race relations just generally among the commoners is very different than the official narratives. People are actually much more comfortable with and actually they just prefer just open, transgressive, casual racism. They actually find it entertaining, and it's a taboo that's like, ooh, we get to violate the taboo. It's what was the thing about like the group chats that they don't really care what color you are, just as long as you're as racist as they are. Yeah, there is many of us have much more in common than not. What website is used? I'm not sure what the website is. It's like a Omegle thing. I don't know if Omegle is still around, but it's some kind of variant of Omegle. He's on Duel. He streams on Duel.com. But he has hashtag Omegle. I thought Omegle didn't exist anymore, but it's some variant of that. Divided by race, united by racism. Yes, so true. Now, speaking of, here's a video of British kids tasting Southern food for the first time. Biscuits and gravy, fried chicken, and sweet tea.
What is this?
What do you think it is?
A scone. They're not scones.
What? They look exactly like scones.
They are. It's an American biscuit. Biscuit.
Nailed it.
They're little biscuits. It's so weird.
What do you guys think of when you think of a biscuit?
Crunchy. English biscuits are quite like thin.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So what are you holding right now?
A biscuit. That is a scone. It's a biscuit. Whoa. It's so soft.
Looks fluffy.
Just like bread.
You've halved it like a scone.
I don't know how this can be a biscuit.
Here we see from an island of savages who pride themselves in how cultured they are, encountering real food for the first time. Watch his face.
That's really good. It's good. Americans are lucky.
Just wait till they hear about Popeyes.
It's like sweet bread, basically.
That fresh loaf of bread.
You'd almost always pair it with something.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah. Gravy. Yeah.
Gravy.
What? Why?
How do they eat scones and gravy?
Now it's a bit different than the gravy you might know.
It's white.
That's not gravy. That is not gravy.
What is that?
That is not gravy, I'm sorry.
It looks a bit like it has so many vegetables in it.
Oh my God.
Those aren't vegetables.
It's lumpy.
Oh, lovely.
It's lumpy. You have to eat all of it.
Every single one of them wants to say it looks like cum, but they know they can't.
Let's call it interesting. It looks like vomit. I can't lie.
It looks like vomit, to be honest.
Okay. Well, dig in.
Let's see what you think.
I'm so scared to try this.
Why are you scared?
Well, scones and gravy seems really weird. Oh my god, that's so good.
The noble savages encounter civilization for the first time.
That was good.
There's a lot going on in that. Like, I'm baffled. Like, what even is this?
Okay. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's quite nice.
It's not too bad. It looks and
Worse than it
smells
is.
rank, but
It
it
looks
actually doesn't
worse than
taste
it
too
is.
bad.
It looks worse than it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Although that's a very classic pairing.
Most
in
British-
the South, you'll often have it with
Jeez.
southern.
Most British human being ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Although that's a very classic pairing. In the South, you'll often have it with southern fried chicken.
Yes.
Look at his face.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, his blood is activating.
Oh, okay.
I love my chicken.
You can dip some in the
He's
gravy.
feeling
and see
the
what it's like
call from
together.
across the
It's
ocean.
lovely. Mmm. Absolutely amazing. It's just violating the chicken. I want to taste the chicken, man. Oh, wow, full rub. It actually makes me happy. I'll go. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my days. The biscuits and the gravy on its own, not amazing combo, but the chicken is good with the gravy and the biscuit. It's good.
Why do they make this? This is so good. It's actually so good.
It's one of the best things I've had with chicken in my life.
Really?
So, it's okay. Big bit of gravy on the chicken. Absolutely.
You know how there's that quote from that old book that says, "You may fascinate a woman with a piece of cheese." It's like you can fascinate a nigger with a piece of fried chicken.
Lovely.
In the South, they've also developed their own culture for biscuits and tea.
They put gravy in the tea now.
No. You don't have tea with gravy. It's Southern tea.
First thoughts, I thought it was Coke.
Why is it cold if it's tea?
I'm very reluctant.
Is this your first ever iced tea?
Yeah. I know, right? We haven't experienced life yet. All right.
Come, let's do cheers.
Culture.
That's nice. That's proper nice. Yeah.
Proper
this
nice.
One.
Right.
This is the winner.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
all
alright.
of them.
Iced tea is so good. Oh my days. You know what? I think that's better than hot tea. A lot better.
Wow.
If I gave this to like my mum and dad, if they didn't like this more, we would have problems.
Oh.
Oh, that's so good. It's more sugary than Coke, but I think it's a lot better.
You're finishing
Oh
that
my
already.
days. It's quite nice.
It's
Quite nice. It's a lot of sugar.
A lot of
It's a lot of sugar. I think I could probably finish 2 of these while he finishes that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, do you have a final word for anyone at home who's watching?
Bring your fake scones and sausage gravy to England. Your food is weird and nice,
Coming from a country where we made beans on toast.
but that works.
You can see at the end there. They don't even, like, all of that. And they're still like, oh, no, you've got to bring it to our country. No, bro. Nah. You can keep your beans on toast. Oh, yeah, this one. Testing the all parents hate the C word theory on my English mum.
Out of every curse word in the world, what's your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why?
You guys mine?
Yeah, what's yours?
Probably cunt.
Stop it! That's a fucking disgusting word. Don't say that word.
What's your favorite curse word? Motherfucker. What's your favorite curse word?
What do you mean? Mine's cunt. Moran! No. Yeah, but what's your favourite one?
My favourite one's probably twat.
Mine's cunt.
Ruby, knock it off.
I'd say probably a fat cunt.
Ruby! Jesus Christ, woman.
What's your favourite curse word, Nana?
Son of a bitch.
Fake? Fake?
Fake.
Mine is cunt.
Megan! Stop that. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I'm always saying that, for fuck's sake.
Mine's bollocks.
Mine's cunt.
See, I didn't know this. I didn't know that the Brits have like a thing about cunt, and they're like I guess they're the right side up Aussies apparently. Although I prefer the Aussie side of it. My wife says I called a lady a cunt at the Mall of America once after discovering Oasis and thought my mom was gonna have an aneurysm.
What's your favourite swear word?
I don't really got one. I sometimes go shit. Or
Is that your favourite swear word?
no, I don't know.
Mine's cunt.
Ah! Don't say that word. I hate that word. That's the one word.
Okay, what's your favourite curse word?
I'll put it this way. I never beep curse in my life.
Okay, do you want to know what mine is?
What?
Cunt.
No, Tara, delete. I don't want that. That's shocking. No, get rid of that.
Shocking.
What is your favourite curse word? You can say whatever curse word you want. It's okay. Anything.
I don't know. It could be a toss-up between motherfucker and...
Motherfucker.
Wanker.
Wanker. I like those. You know what mine is?
What?
Cunt.
How fascinating. How fascinating. The UK people are such strange ones. This one I just put in here because I just love this dude's accent. He's more pissed about his name than him moving in, telling my dad that Schmidley's moving in.
Dude, honestly, that bathroom over there that you're going to build, don't even build it anymore because I need an extra room for Schmidley.
Who?
Schmidley.
Who the fuck is Schmidley?
He's moving in.
Who the fuck is Schmidley?
You know Schmidley? He's been here a couple times, dude.
What does he fucking look like? I don't know no fucking Schmidley. Dude,
Dude, stop playing dumb.
What the fuck kind of name is that?
Stop playing dumb.
Who the fuck names their kid Schmidley?
I don't fucking know, but he's...
Is that his first name or his last name?
His first name.
That
dude.
doesn't sound like the fucking
think.
first Schmidley. Maybe his fucking last name. It's a fucking...
No, it's just, he's moving in. He's taking...
He's not fucking moving in.
He's taking
Who
that
the
fucking...
fuck are you, the landlord?
I'm fucking Michael, the owner
I
of the
don't give a
house.
fuck. He ain't fucking coming in the house.
Sit back down.
Tell fucking Schmidley there ain't no fucking place for him to live in this fucking house.
Dude.
I'm making a fucking bathroom over there.
So first you
and your brother
so
can
I
have
see how
your
it
fucking
is.
bathroom.
So I see how it is. So first you eat his lunch.
Who the fuck is this guy Schmidley?
Then you don't let him move in.
I never even heard that fucking name.
Then you don't even introduce yourself.
Where do you know this fucking guy from?
Don't worry about it, dude.
Schmidley. Is that his fucking last name?
It's his first name, you idiot.
It's a fucking stupid first name.
Well, so is Anthony.
No, it's not. You shouldn't be friends with the guy based on his fucking name. Hey, this is my friend Schmidley. Who the fuck's that? You say that with a straight face?
Gets more play than you, pal.
Fuck him.
Gets
He's
more,
not fucking
gets
moving
more
in.
hugs than you.
He's not fucking moving in.
He's taking that room.
Yeah, my ass. You'll see.
Oh, they're such great people. I love how angry they get. They go from 0 to 10, just immediately. Who the fuck is Schmidley? Oh, man, I hope that Kate sees this. Kate J, that's her people. Accents. So, I'm sure many of you have already seen this video, but for those of you who are not regularly on the timeline, perhaps you have not. You are not prepared for the strange mashup that you're about to experience. This guy, who looks like Matt Iglesias, does not at all have the accent that you would expect.
I was lost between borders. Norwegian citizen, born in Norway, stuck in India, living on the streets, surviving, being a tourist guide, smoking on the fucking roads. Don't you think I want to get some kind of adjustment against the government when I'm 33 years old, have zero schooling, they haven't done the shit that they were supposed to do. The Finnish embassy, when they helped me out of the country, they were supposed to report me to the children's services because I was under 18. Did they do their job? No, they didn't do their job. Thanks to them, I don't have fucking nothing. I even told the Norwegian government once they came back to Norway, I have no school. Then they should have fucking done some kind of research, find out, why don't I have school? What's the reason? No fucking European, at least from one of the richest countries in the world, don't have fucking schooling. There must be a reason to it. Why they don't do fucking their background check? Because they know they are in the wrong.
So this guy is from Norway. His family traveled to Norway when he was I think like 10, and they just left him there. just left him, or they traveled to India and they just left him there. Just left him there and went home. Just like living on the streets by himself. They got a white Indian now, but listen to this. His name is Lasse J. Lund, born to a Norwegian father and a Finnish mother. He can speak English with an ordinary Norwegian accent.
Hi, my name is Lasse. I live in Norway. I'm 33 years old. I'm making this video because I'm trying to get some help from the social media about some injustice that has happened in my life, and I've been thinking about it many years and trying to get some kind of help, but no one can help me because it's such a complicated case, they say, even the lawyers. So I'm like, maybe someone out there in the social media will see this and maybe can help me out. The story is, my parents took me to India when I was 4 years old. And I stayed there till I was nearly 18 before the Finnish embassy helped me out of the country because we overstayed there while my parents took me there. And we stayed there nearly 13 years while my dad and my brothers left the country one by one because it's not easy to get out of the country when you're overstayed. So in the end, it was me, my sister, and my mother left in India. And then I roamed a lot away from my sister and my mother, hanging around with people on the street and people I felt close to. But then suddenly my mother and sister got jailed because they asked for her passport and she didn't have any visa. So she ended up in jail, and suddenly I'm a teenager in India living in the second biggest slum in the world, Dharavi.
This is actually Schmedley.
For long after my few years that I lived on the streets and little here and there, my dad contacted the Finnish embassy to help me out of the country. And then I was nearly 18. So yeah, the Finnish embassy got me a NOC stamp and everything from Delhi, New Delhi, India. And I got out of the country. But that's not the problem. The problem is I never had any schooling whole my fucking life. I've not got any kind of
There's the Indian
things that a person that has parents should have. And then the system expects me to find a job and get things in place. How do I get things in place if my parents have robbed me of my schooling? And the Finnish embassy did a big mistake when I'm under 18. They didn't even fucking contact the child services or anything. So I came back to Norway before I'm 18 and everything's supposed to be fine. But
so to me, it looks like he's running, like you guys said in the chat, it looks like he's running some kind of a scam. Like basically he's I don't know if I would call it a scam necessarily, but essentially he's trying to capitalize on his plight, his experience, and fundraise off of it, create some sort of a social media presence, something like that. But it's fascinating to me that he can do the Indian accent, like he can speak the Indian accent so clearly, and then here he has some influences of the Indian accent, but then he can also just sound like an ordinary like Norwegian guy. Makes me wonder if the Indian accent is put on. You've seen white Indians, but are you ready for white Nigerians?
We are Nigerians. Of course, we get two phones. When one no gets network, the other one will surely have them. Hello? We are Nigerians. Of course, where they write, do not relate here. Now that place where we go peace with our full chest. We are Nigerians. Of course, we know they grieve for anybody. If you do anyhow, you go say anyhow. If you bring trouble, we go serve you double. Abuja will, yeah. We are Nigerians. Of course, we know they use zebra crossing. You cross at your own discretion. If motor jam you, or speed too. I don't see. They can use you. We are Nigerians. Of course, we dey price everything. Madam, how you dey? I beg, how much did they sell this one?
It's 15 naira, sir.
I lie. I go buy 2 for 10 naira.
Sir, you know that the groundnut is very expensive, so I can't make it for that.
No, you go do am. I'm going to go do am. Oh yeah, 2 for 20.
This is the power of the white boy.
We are Nigerians.
The white boy can be any race that he wants to be. This is our special privilege. Let's never forget the OG, the white Jamaican dad.
A lot of people don't know or don't believe that there are white Jamaicans.
So today I'm going to show you.
What is your name?
What kind of question you ask me? You don't know my name long time already. We can't put my name on the internet, girl. What's wrong with you?
Where are you from?
I come from Jamaica. We come from the western part of Jamaica. We can't really tell you where we come from down there though, because we don't know where we come from.
What kind of food do you like to eat?
Well, I like all kind of food. Anything they make in Jamaica, I like ackee and saltfish. Put a piece of fried pork in it. Can't beat that. I really love a curry goat with rice. I don't like rice and peas though, but I love curry goat and rice. And well, I don't use so much bami, but I love bami too.
So this was, you guys are saying Irish. Like, I never made that connection before. I never had the connection between the Irish accent and the Jamaican accent, but now that I've heard it, I can't unhear it. Like, if I was to try to do a Jamaican accent or an Irish accent, I would combine the two of them. I would just blend them together. I thought I had another one here. Did I not? No, okay. So I got a changing gears now. This devious nigga Fishback is at it again. We've got another Vrilify video.
This devious nigga is at it again. Last weekend, the governor of Rumble married his girlfriend, but people quickly noticed it was a completely different Floyd. His OnlyFans ex crashed out and posted photos of her in a wedding dress. So his new bitch posted photos of them at Disney World in response. He was getting clowned on by the Jews on mass BDSM streamers like Chad Champion. Everyone seems to agree James Fishback is just Vivek Ramaswamy in Black Air Forces.
Got him!
But I wouldn't count him out, because a devious nigga who buys 200 likes and smashes minors is not somebody to trifle with. Would you vote for James Fishback if he looked like this? Repost this video and let me know in the comments.
Perfect. Exquisite. The best possible content. Ladies and gentlemen, your dissident right political candidate. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm just going to stick with Donald Trump and whoever Donald Trump tells me to support. I think I'm going to stick with that. That's been working out pretty well for me. This mailer is actually real. Tallarico for Texas. The biggest divide in this country is not left versus right. It's top versus bottom. Tallarico for Texas paid for this. They paid someone to come up with this. They printed it out and then mass mailed it. It's top versus bottom. Just incredible. I am fully convinced that this is some sort of a cosmic punishment to James Tallarico for something that he did. I'm not going to speculate because I don't like focusing my mind on such things. But clearly he did something really, really bad to be subjected to this. There's no way the Tallarico mailer could be real. As if Tobias Finke ran for Senate in Texas. It is real. There's a bunch of people in the comments who are posting that they got it. We got one at our house. There was another one. Someone else that posted that they had it. Yeah, the Daily Caller posted this out. Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, his intern despises him. Someone wants to destroy him. The biggest divide in this country is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom. I can't even imagine being some of the campaign people who are planning the attack ads on behalf of the Republicans. They're going to be they're going to be seeing how close they can get to this line. Like, we have the possibility of seeing some absolutely legendary campaign material in the general. All sorts of, let's say, creative ways to point out the implication here while, being able to remain within public airwaves regulations. Just, I can't imagine. The Democrat Party is in absolute dire straits. Meanwhile, this is what's happening in the imperial capital. People outside of D.C. don't realize what a transformation this is. Union Station used to be packed with drugged-out zombies shambling around screaming at passersby, and barefoot, piss-soaked homeless people passed out on the floor. Columbus Circle right outside used to be a gross dead fountain surrounded by dirt and tents. That's what used to greet you when you stepped off the train. Now we have an entrance to our capital city befitting an empire. I'm going to show you some before and afters on this in just a second. Look at that. It's actually clean-ish. We can have beautiful things again. Thank you, Emperor Atreides. Donald Trump has informed us that we're allowed to have beautiful things. Columbus Circle at Union Station is completely restored as part of Trump's effort to make D.C. safe and beautiful. Secretary Burgum and Secretary Duffy are here to cut the ribbon for the official reopening. Here's a video. So here's what it looks like now. Actually has water in it. The last time the fountain was running was before the iPhone was invented. That's what it used to look like.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Thank you, Emperor Atreides. Congratulations, Ben Shapiro on 2X. Never in my 13 years living in D.C. have I seen this fountain on. Honestly, I don't think many Washingtonians thought it would ever come back, especially after last year's protests. More beautiful than I expected. Cynical Publius here says, I lived in the D.C. area over 15 years ago. This is a different fountain. This fountain was a non-functioning mess back then. It took Donald Trump to restore the beauty. Why did no one else ever try? This is Meridian Hill Park, before and after, from a couple weeks ago. There was the before. There's the after. Making things beautiful again, inspiring the spirit of Americans. Stephen Miller says that he believes that the fraud and waste being uncovered by the Anti-Fraud Task Force is so widespread that dealing with it could balance the budget. And I've seen a number of people suggest this, and there's even some wild speculating that perhaps this becomes a way of zeroing out some of the debt. Like if it gets to a certain point where the magnitude of the fraud is demonstrably beyond a certain level, like at a certain point you have to start asking questions about like how much of this debt is actually legitimate. I mean, clearly it's not, but like the recognition of legitimacy is kind of a sliding scale, and eventually it's going to reach the point that enough people are going to be like, okay, yeah, I can't even defend that. Tikon says this is going to make so many closeted MAGA voters, 100%.
Thank you. And thank you again to the Vice President
Gigajuice in the chat.
Leading this effort, for helming this task force, for bringing us all together here. I think you can all agree that this is the fastest in history that a government task force
Gigajuice in the chat
from creation to action. Your typical lead time is going to be a year of meetings before anything happens, and that's if you're lucky. And within weeks of this task force being established, we've seen the largest ever slate of indictments, recovered funds, search warrants, raids, seizures, investigations, and new legal actions to stop, disrupt, and prevent fraud. What we've learned, which is not surprising to those of us who've spent some time in this area, is that fraud is every bit as bad as President Trump said it was, and even worse. So in other words, everything we found either confirms our worst fears or exceeds them. That's the bad news. The good news is that the best team in government under the leadership of Vice President Vance has been assembled to deal with it. And of course, one of those men who you'll hear from in a second is sitting to my right here, the Associate Attorney General for Fraud Enforcement, Colin McDonald. But before I yield the floor, I do want to just touch on one of the points that Andrew hit on in his remarks. All of the systems in our country, whether you're talking about voting, whether you're talking about entitlements, whether you're talking about welfare benefits, were set up based on the honor system. They're set up based on the idea that you could trust the average person through their own morality to abide by the rules and comply with the law. And so the way most welfare works in most states and most places is we take your word for it. If you fill out a piece of paper and you say your kids are hungry, you are going to get food stamps. We don't check as a country if you even have kids. The fact is basic as that.
This is
We
so
don't check if
infuriating.
you even have children. You will just start getting the checks. And so what's happened to our country is we became a society, as we've seen with the Somali refugee problem in Minnesota, where you have a large number of people that are not following the honor system. They're not playing by the rules. They're not abiding by our laws. And the amount that has been fleeced from us is in the hundreds of billions of dollars. I believe, based on what I've seen and what I've heard, is that we could balance the federal budget if the only dollars that went out of the Treasury went to individuals who are properly, lawfully, correctly eligible to receive them. And that ultimately is going to be what we have to do as a country. In the meantime, because of the Vice President's leadership, you are seeing the most muscular, robust, aggressive, dedicated, determined, and speedy effort to shut down criminal fraud that has not only ever occurred in the history of this country, but in any developed nation. So thank you.
Head is freshly shaven. Yeah, so think about that. Think about the sheer volume of fraud that has to exist within federal benefits, such that if you were to eliminate all the fraudulent use of federal benefits, it would straight up eliminate the deficit. Balance the budget completely. That's not to, so that's like going forward. That's forward looking. Then retrospectively, there's all of that debt, all of that inflation, all of that downstream wealth that has flowed into all sorts of places across the economy. That is all based on that fraud. Entire industries that have a certain status within the economy relative to all the other industries that wouldn't exist. That status would not exist like that. It's incredible. You know, that people, I keep seeing people bring up like Doge shutting down or Doge failing, and this is just absurd to me. Completely absurd. I listened to Curtis Yarvin on Rufo and Lomez last night, and it's maybe I'll I don't know. My wife said she's going to go pick up my sister, so maybe when I finish my tabs here, maybe we'll watch that, because it's I've long had a deep appreciation for Yarvin, but it's there's some serious, I think, foundational differences here, where the perpetual doomering is a product of comparing to an unattainable standard, which is again funny because it's like spiritually a derivation of libertarianism. I think Yarvin's retrospective analysis is very, very good. His analysis of the present time is not. Even if I do appreciate him, even if I do think that he's engaging in good faith, I just think he's wrong. They were talking about Doge, and he keeps repeating this, that like Doge got shut down or Doge like doesn't, it never really got off the ground. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Without Doge, you don't get this fraud task force. Without Doge, you don't get Nick Shirley. Without Doge, you don't get Doge teams embedded formally in every single agency reporting directly to Russ Vogt. So, like, just because the Doge agency itself doesn't exist anymore doesn't mean that Doge, and actually, what the fuck? That's so weird. Just randomly starts playing a past video. If anything, the fact that Doge has sort of gone and just sort of disappeared into the agencies, that's actually a benefit This is a feature, not a bug. It makes it so much harder to combat or to root out. And ultimately, all these debates seem to resolve back to, well, when Democrats get in power again, here's all the things they can undo. I reject the premise. I reject the premise. The whole point of all of this is to ensure that the Democrats, as they currently exist, never get in power again. The permanent disenfranchisement of the Democrat Party. There may be a new party down the line that maintains the name, but it's going to be a different thing altogether. Speaking of Russ Vote, maybe we'll watch that video here toward the end of this. But speaking of Russ Vote at OMB has just overhauled $1 trillion in federal grants by adding strict e-verify requirements, English language rules, and political appointee oversight to ensure taxpayer dollars go to American citizens first. Vote's new proposal replaces automatic payouts with pay-for-performance standards. Grants can now be terminated for waste, fraud, underperformance, or pushing anti-American priorities like DEI, gender ideology, or Green New Scam programs. The director of the Office of Management and Budget has extraordinary power and oversight on federal spending. No more blank checks, and fraud complaints go straight to Inspectors General and U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro within 10 days. There's a video of him. This one's long, so I'm not going to play the video. But if you wanted to, here's a video of him laying out his plan that a month ago. A video of him a month ago laying out his plan that went into effect today. But here's an article from the New York Post. The Trump White House's budget office is tightening a rule for the distribution of up to $1 trillion in federal grant-making authority, ensuring taxpayer dollars are better protected from use by non-citizens and speeding up the process by which wasteful spending can be canceled. The OMB will propose the fixes to address significant flaws in the grants, at least 190,000 of which date from former President Joe Biden's final year in office. 190,000 grants just from Joe Biden's final year in office. One official said that the expected changes will have the greatest effect on the Department of Health and Human Services, which oversees roughly $85 billion in grant spending annually, and the Department of Transportation, which handles roughly $45 billion per year. And there are a lot of state governments that depend substantially on Department of Transportation federal money. So this is one great leverage point that the administration can use to chastise rebellious states, is by coming up with lots of different reasons to freeze DOT funds. Under the proposal from OMB Director Russ Vogt, political appointees will now be given final sign-off over federal monies, and performance will be closely monitored, including with the use of the Treasury Department's Do Not Pay registry. In the past, you got yourself a nice grant that might last 3 or 4 or 5 years for a certain amount every quarter or every year, and that's just an invitation for underperformance and underdelivery, another OMB official said, because you're guaranteed a payment regardless. So no longer are they just going to be guaranteed a payment, there's going to be direct oversight by political appointees, and it's going to be contingent upon performance. So we'll wipe those out, and instead, you're going to get paid for performance, the official said. You get a grant awarded with the policy shared from the president, signed off by a political appointee, and it damn well better produce, otherwise it could be canceled for fraud. Federal award recipients must also go through E-Verify system to ensure only American citizens receive the money, while English language requirements will be imposed for all funding announcements. So, if you can't get this stuff enforced through Congress, here's a way potentially you kind of get around it, and you start implementing E-Verify at some levels of federal expenditure. You make it contingent on the grants. If you don't want to go through the E-Verify system, then you don't have to apply for a grant. The shift will allow the feds to play a larger role in vetting grantees that eventually get taxpayer money through state programs. Additionally, valid complaints of fraud filed against grant recipients must be referred to Inspectors General and D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro's office no more than 10 days after being flagged by agencies, rather than being handled internally through investigations that could last years. All other grants not aligned with President Trump's executive actions and policies will be suspended or terminated if they haven't already been cut. Those include awards focusing on DEI initiatives, promoting gender ideology, or renewable energy programs commonly referred to by Republicans as the Green New Scam. If a grant, even after it went through all these checks, even after it was qualified, even after money was going out the door, veers off from the commitment to stick with presidential policies, then we're able to turn it off, the second official noted. Some of the worst abuses of the grant-making system will be eliminated and literally save the taxpayers tons of money, as well as making sure the federal government is not funding efforts to go after the culture and values of American citizens. The OMB official added that the safeguards will prevent recurrences of fraud like those which took place during the COVID-19 pandemic, costing taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars. The Trump administration has significantly cracked down on federal funding to taxpayer-funded welfare programs in blue states, freezing more than $10 billion in large block grant programs in January before getting tied up in the courts. A task force led by Vice President J.D. Vance has also revoked nearly $260 million in Medicaid funding from Minnesota in February, citing fraud concerns. Now, this story is kind of interesting. A former senior CIA officer has been arrested on massive fraud, stealing 300 gold bars and secretly stashing them worth $40 million and using his position to do so.
Worth of gold bars in his home. If you're wondering how many gold bars that is, the court document says it's about 308. What my team here at NBC News, Dan DeLuce and Gary Grumbach and I found is that that man was not just an employee of any agency. He was a high-level official with top secret clearance in the CIA, and that he not only lied about what he was doing with this money, but that allegedly he also lied about his background, said that he graduated from a college he did not attend, that he went to a graduate school he did not attend, and that he had a pilot's license that the FAA said he did not have. So he was arrested last week, and he is now in detention facing these charges of lying about his background and perhaps unknowingly embezzling American taxpayers' money. I want to read you a statement we just got in from the CIA saying that after a CIA internal investigation identified potential violations of the law, CIA Director John Ratcliffe referred the information to the FBI for a law enforcement investigation. The FBI is working closely with our partners at the CIA and the Department of Justice as we continue to investigate this matter fully. So, Hallie, we will be staying on this, but what this looks like is that this was someone who was given currency. He was even paid in cash and watches that he said needed to be used in order to pay for operations that he was in charge of. But rather than keeping it in his office, they found $40 million worth of this gold, as well as $2 million in cash and 35 luxury watches in his home. So we'll bring you more as we learn it.
Please do.
This, to me, is not anything remotely like, this guy went and stole all of this stuff and they had no idea. No, this guy was being used for as an agent. He was using this to launder valuable things to people, to pay stuff off the books. There's no way that this was just like some rogue CIA agent who managed to funnel all of this out of there. This is clearly some sort of a dark project that is being, what do you call it, unearthed, combated in some way. It was referred by Trump CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and there's a lot of people who really don't like Ratcliffe, and they think that he's he's not loyal, that he's a traitor. I don't buy it. I understand the arguments that people make for it, but I think people will point to malfeasance by the CIA since Trump got back into office, and they'll say, "Oh, see here, this is proof that Ratcliffe is subversive." No, I think the CIA director doesn't have like absolute authority overall and awareness of all operations of the CIA, because the CIA is not some sort of like agency that has like a list of all of its employees and they check into and out of work every day and like the boundaries on what constitutes the edge of the CIA. This is not like an enclosed agency. It gets completely blurred out into assets and former CIA agents that are still actually CIA agents and people doing stuff off the books and everything. There's no way that you could have a CIA director that can just unilaterally exercise complete control over the CIA. So something like this, having something like this turned in by Ratcliffe, I think is a little glimpse that he is on side. I do find it interesting that there's that story about him having these Rolexes, and that very same day, this story also pops out. An ICE agent standing guard at Delaney Hall sports a Hulk green Rolex Submariner over his We the People tattoo. Look at this guy.
Y'all know this Israeli.
You take those 3 things out of your vocabulary, you'll be done, bro.
Look at this absolute patriot. You're gonna die for Israel. Sounds like the retard right showed up to harass and try to mog this dude just standing there. What do the kids say? He's aura farming. Just absolutely dripped out. Something's up with the automation. I see that an EWBSX enjoyer sent $20 over on Ko-fi, and it didn't come through. And now I'm trying to log into my account here, and it's to check the automation, and it's not working. So yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is. But thank you, EWBSX enjoyer. So we'll say that's we're at $99 so far. Logan, Texas says DHS has dripped out host scarers. So true. So true. More on the fraud subject. So Anthony Rubin here says, the fraud I witnessed while producing this story was so blatant that it's unbelievable no other journalist had already reported on it. In Lawrence, Massachusetts, where this fraud was discovered, blue shipping barrels can be seen for sale on every street. It's impossible to miss. These barrels are used to ship food, purchased with EBT and collected from charities, back to the Dominican Republic. In the same city, you can witness Dominican shipping companies picking up food from homes on a daily basis. The only way it would make economic sense to ship food from Lawrence, Massachusetts to the Dominican Republic is if the food was obtained for free. The whistleblowers we worked with also informed us that there's housing fraud taking place, where Dominicans who are receiving housing aid rent out the same houses that they are getting via government assistance while they live in the Dominican Republic. If the current administration is serious about stopping fraud, this matter must be immediately investigated.
These are 50-pound bags of rice that are going to get shipped back to Santo Domingo.
I'm seeing these big giant refrigerator boxes in 55-gallon barrel drums being filled up with food. There's just so much fraud going on in this one city.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
Food stamps were created to help low-income American households put groceries on the table at home. The program cost American taxpayers over $100 billion in 2025 alone. But in cities like Lawrence, Massachusetts, a chunk of that money isn't feeding Americans at all. Food bought with your tax dollars at local markets that accept EBT, along with groceries picked up for free from food bank lines, gets loaded into barrels, driven to shipping companies, and sent overseas to the Dominican Republic, where it gets sold for profit in local markets. SNAP rules require that food stay in the household that bought it, but this fraud has been going on for years, and nobody seems to be talking about it. We spent weeks tracing the pipeline, from corner stores swiping EBT cards to vendors in Santo Domingo who told us exactly where their inventory comes from. We talked to a delivery driver in Lawrence, Massachusetts, who's been dropping off packages on these streets for over a decade and has been witnessing this fraud the entire time.
So I'm John, and I've been working in this town of Lawrence, Massachusetts for a little over 11 years. I deliver products all day long, 6 days a week. I have about 35 stops a day where I interact with these people.
Okay.
Every day.
And when you say these people, we're talking Dominicans specifically.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Dominican people, yeah. I've been witnessing the Dominican residents going to food bank lines and collecting non-perishable goods and then packing it in barrels and in boxes, and then they ship it back to the Dominican Republic.
I think Dominican Republic here is actually a euphemism for dissident right.
How do you know for sure that the people are buying this food that they're shipping back with the food stamps or, whatever other government assistance?
Some of them have openly told me and my wife that that's what they're doing. And then the other way is the math. The bag of rice that they buy here costs $30 for the 50-pound bag of rice, okay? That same bag of rice in the Dominican Republic costs $35. The only way you could justify that is if you got the rice for free.
So we're here at one of the main shipping companies in Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Joe Kent sent $5 and says, "Hey, Matt, I still think about you. Why haven't you mentioned me in a while? I'm starting to think Bibi has gotten to you, and you're an agent of Israel."
He could only have gotten that idea from Benjamin Netanyahu.
Okay, Jew. Okay, you fucking Jew. Fucking Jew from Israel. Silence.
Thank you for the $5, Joe Kent.
That ships food and other goods from here back to Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. And you can see, for example, right here, look at these. You got giant bags of rice. These are 50-pound bags of rice that are going to get shipped back to Santo Domingo. So, again, you could just imagine that makes no economic sense to do that. The cost of shipping these bags of rice and paying for them would be more than simply wiring the money back to Santo Domingo and then buying the rice there. But you could see this isn't a one-off. I mean, there's got to be at least right here, at least 10 or more 50-pound bags of rice. And we were also told by the workers here that most of the boxes you see here are full of food. And if not full of food, it's food mixed with other goods.
And I'm going to take you by...
How much of the fucking world is funded entirely off of the backs of American taxpayers? If you don't have like a real appreciation for the sheer economic might of the United States, these sorts of stories should reveal it to you. As bad as things have gotten, let's say things could get much, much worse than they already are. Like, things are bad, but also we're still chugging right along with just trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars being siphoned away from us every single year by fucking Democrats. Outlaw the Democrat Party. Arrest every single one of them. Firing squads.
We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead. We're going to kill you. We're going to give you the death penalty or kill you.
Right now to show you one of the bodegas that they sell the barrels. So these barrels are being used specifically for shipping products out of the country. Like I said, they get the non-perishables, and here's all the barrels. Look at all the barrels.
Whoa, this is in front of a market right here.
Yeah, so they sell them. Now look, this is just one, right? Now we're gonna go do another corner store right over here.
And don't think that it's just a happy coincidence that suddenly we've got Nick Shirley, we've got Muckraker, we've got all these different people that are going out and cracking all of these fraud schemes right when there's a big anti-fraud task force under the oversight of the vice president. While Scott Bessent is transforming the global monetary order. These things, it's not coincidental that all of these things are happening at the same time. Yeah, Mr. Stu, we could totally afford a UBI. Like, there's the moral hazard, the like incentive structure aspects of it, like that are valid. We could afford a substantial UBI for every single American with the sort of shit that we've been funding.
There's a meat market selling those barrels.
Because they buy them to ship out of the country. Here we go. More barrels at another bodega.
Stop.
For sale.
What is the point?
The point is that they fill them up and then they ship it back to their home country. They're sending the big giant jugs of cooking oil that cost $25, $30 here. Same thing that they cost over there. So the only way that you'd be able to justify paying the shipping cost is if you got that for free. I've even seen them shipping cases of water. Why would you send water to an island unless you got it for free? Here's another one of these bodegas with these barrels. Now these barrels aren't trash cans. They're being used to ship the product.
We're here with Abigail, the wife of John. So could you sort of just explain very high level sort of like why you're able to see this fraud that's going on?
So I have to go into certain people's homes in order to assess them, take care of them. Many of them will have large boxes, large bins in their apartments full of the food that they give out at the pantries here. And when I ask them what it's for, they say they mail it back so it can either be given to their families there or be sold in the bodegas there.
And they've told you
this? Yeah, straight, yes. A lot of them will go to the doctor, claim an ailment, so that they get a medication, and then they'll mail that medication as well back. Those meds are sold in the bodegas in Santo Domingo. When you go to Santo Domingo, supposedly the two places they say if you're gonna come to the United States are Lawrence and New York City. They go to each food pantry line on a different day, and they get all the non-perishables that they can, and they ship them all back. One patient I went to in particular, I had asked her daughter, I said, why are you sending so much food back to Santo Domingo? And she goes, oh, my husband sells it in the bodega.
Have any of these individuals that have said this to you, like, sort of even indicated that they know that it's the wrong thing to do?
No. No.
Not at all.
No, they feel entitled. They feel like that's what we come here for. We come here to get what we need. And then a lot of them still have apartments here in Section 8, or they have bought homes on like special programs for immigrants. And now they're renting out those homes, and they've moved back permanently to Santo Domingo. I know that for sure because I have a friend on Facebook that was a patient of mine here and lives in Santo Domingo and still has a house here that she rents.
But as far as the food stamp fraud goes, is that like almost entirely Dominican?
Yeah.
How widespread, if you could give people an idea, is this food stamp fraud? You know, let's say
like the food pantry fraud, when they go and get the free food and mail it back?
Yeah.
I'd probably say about half the people I see.
Half the people you see? Half the people you see are getting food and shipping it back to Santo Domingo.
Either to their family or to be sold, yep.
So right now we're in front of one of the many markets here in Lawrence, Massachusetts that sell these blue barrels that people use to ship food back to the Dominican Republic. You can see them right behind me. And one thing that's interesting about all the markets that sell these blue barrels, they also sell food, and they make a point in front of all their stores that they accept EBT. You can see that very clearly behind me. Aceptamos EBT. It's there on the front door. Even on their signs here, the sign for this store, they advertise that they sell these blue barrels right there. And just to show you how widespread this isn't a one-off. There's another store right there doing the exact same thing. It says ATM EBT. You can see here on the sign for the store, it says Aceptamos food stamps. And then look at this. They're selling all these barrels, again, that people can buy, and then they go into the store and get their food with food stamps and ship it all back to Santo Domingo. So now we're going to go inside one of these stores, and we're going to show you what they're selling. So now we're inside the store, and you can see what they're selling here. Giant 50-pound bags of rice, just like the ones that we saw at the shipping company. And
these are locusts. This is a plague of locusts that has been invited into our country to just hollow us out from the inside. And it's not like it's going somewhere, and it's not like there's we go down but they go up. This stuff's just getting dumped into the gullets of a bunch of third worlders.
And they also sell giant bottles of cooking oil. You can see here how many they're selling. That's what we've seen on the back of one of these shipping trucks. They pick these up and they ship them back to Santo Domingo, and that's how the EBT is being spent. Massachusetts has some of the most strict hidden camera and wiretap laws in the country, which means we couldn't catch anyone admitting to the fraud on tape in that state.
How convenient!
We headed to New York, where the laws allowed us to film on hidden camera. So we arrived in New York, and we started looking for Dominican shipping companies. And it took us to this storage unit facility. It's called Storage Post. It's here in the Bronx. And what we noticed when we got here is that it appears that this place is being used by many Dominican shipping companies as a sort of storage hub. We went undercover in this facility, and one of the workers told us explicitly on camera that people are using EBT to fill up these boxes with food that they then ship to the Dominican Republic.
¿Este cuánto?
1.25.
Y este 1.40.
Sí, 1.40. Con un arroz y un aceite, cualquiera de los dos.
¿Cuánto se toma en llegar?
21 días.
21 días. ¿Cómo se llama? Bandera.
Bandera shipping.
Y si uno paga con las estampillas por las cosas, está bien, no hay problema.
Eso no hace nada, la comida, eso tú la compras como tú quieras.
Ah, okay. Es que ya ve cómo...
What's this, a gigantic fraud scheme revolving around international shipping? Who could it be, I wonder? Who could be wrapped up in all of this? Where could this have come from?
Están las cosas ahora, por eso pregunto.
Mala la cosa y la gente compra con sus cupones.
Sí, con los cupones.
Claro. No, tú puedes comprar con lo que sea.
Muchos de los clientes de ustedes usan cupones.
No. Sí, ellos compran con cupones y llenan los tanques.
Right now, I am standing on St. Nicholas Avenue in Fort Washington, New York. And this is the home of a very large Dominican community. And the store that we're standing in front of right now is pretty interesting. If you look here, they've built a extended storefront. And behind this plexiglass, you can see a giant wall of non-perishable goods, and it's being advertised what the prices are if you buy in bulk. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Normally, if there's a store that comes out to the sidewalk with their goods, you'll be seeing them put up like maybe stands with fresh produce, fruits and vegetables, that sort of thing. But what I have never seen is a store with an extended storefront where they put up a wall of non-perishable goods. So now we're inside of this extended storefront and it's being advertised.
Think about the volumes that are being pushed out here. Like, all of these companies are getting effectively a mass taxpayer subsidy. This is really what EBT is. This is how you get a lot of the big corporate investment, or at least willingness to turn to look the other way on this. But this is just massive federal subsidies using foreigners as proxies. They bring the illegal foreigners in as a way of funneling taxpayer dollars into their own businesses.
The deals that you get if you buy in bulk. Let's just take a look at a few of them. For $5, you get 3 bags of pasta. For $4, you get 2 bags of whatever this is, some sort of beans. For $10, you're going to get 8 cans of Goya's assorted beans.
Yeah, Trust Planstar says these schemes are why Walmart funds No Kings protests. Exactly.
It's pretty obvious what's going on here. It's being advertised to the community at large. If you want to buy food in bulk, probably to ship back home, this is where you want to do your shopping. We're not alleging that this store specifically is engaged in any sort of fraud. They're just selling food. However, this is one node in a larger system of EBT welfare fraud in the Dominican community.
And it can be done completely, like, the stores themselves have total plausible deniability on this. Like, they're just selling the food to people that come and buy it. It's just market signals. There's demand for the food, and there's people who are showing up and want to buy it, so we need to place our orders and stock up so that they can buy the food. They must be really hungry. They must have lots of kids back home that they need to feed with all of this bulk food that they're buying.
Behind me is the Port Newark Container Terminal, and it is from here that tens of thousands of pounds of food, what likely amounts to millions of dollars of food, that has been paid for by you, the American taxpayer, is being shipped to the Dominican Republic. To see where all this food ends up, we followed the trail to the Dominican Republic, where shop owners told us exactly where their inventory comes from. So now we're going inside of a store that's stocked with food that's paid for with your tax dollars.
¿Puedes explicar como me dijiste a mí, como tu familia, tú pones eso y luego lo mandan a usted, o cómo es?
Eso ellos no lo mandan para acá, en cajas.
Sí, pero usan los cupones, estampillas allá como me dijiste.
Sí.
Todo esto viene de Nueva York.
Todo lo que está aquí.
So right now we're in one of many...
She said everything that's here comes from New York, and my family members use food stamps in New York to buy it and send it here.
Stores in the Dominican Republic that are stocked with food, paid for in the United States with food stamps, and sent here on a boat in a blue barrel, offloaded, and then put in these little bodega stores and sold here. And you can see all this food behind me. You can see, for example, this comes from Tops. This comes from Tops here, traditional pasta sauce. It's sold for 350 Dominican pesos. We got ground pork, and this goes for 225 pesos. So this is what's going on. People who have family in the United States load up these blue barrels with food that they pay for with food stamps. They ship it here to their family members in the Dominican Republic, and the family members here sell it at a profit or use it themselves, and it's all being paid for by you, the American taxpayer.
We went to another store in Santo Domingo.
The only reason the EBT program exists anymore is just to feed the entire third world.
That was being run out of a woman's home. The owner explained to us
how she gets her inventory from charities in the United States.
So todo la comida aquí es de las iglesias en Estados Unidos?
De la iglesia, sí. De la defensa en la iglesia, sí, con un carrito.
Food pantries of churches.
Cuando va a las despensas allá, a las iglesias donde dan la comida y todo eso, ¿le hacen enseñar ID o algo así o no?
Sí.
¿Y cuál ID enseña usted?
Yo enseño de dominicano.
¿De acá?
Sí, de aquí.
So she's now saying...
Yo no llevo mi pasaporte, yo llevo el dominicano, la cédula mía, el ID mío de aquí.
¿En un ID dominicano
de aquí, sí.
suficiente?
Sí.
¿Es
Sí.
suficiente para la comida?
Sí.
Nada preguntas con las iglesias,
No preguntan
sobre la ID.
No preguntan nada. Con ese me piden la dirección en que donde yo estoy viviendo, donde estoy alojada, y yo le daba la dirección de mamá y el número de teléfono de mi madre.
¿Tú tienes los nombres de las organizaciones?
Yo tengo uno que le dicen el ALMI por la 138, por ahí.
Salvation Army.
Y hay otro que le dicen el Kennedy, que queda en la 135. La iglesia, hay una que le dicen el Buen Pastor, o hay otra iglesia también que queda en la 129, al lado de donde vivía mamá.
¿La iglesia católica?
Sí, sí, católica. Esa que yo iba a buscar.
The Catholic Church as well.
Se dice aquí?
Codito.
Codito. So we have elbows here, ronzoni. What else do we got? There's a ton of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Sopa. You got a bunch of these here. 100 pesos. So this costs 100 pesos. So that's about $1.50. So here you have, ¿cómo se dice? Arroz.
Sí.
Mucho arroz.
40 libra.
You got oats. You got cornmeal. You got lentils. So in this case, what's going on is the food is coming from charities in the United States. People are going to the United States, getting the food from these charities, and then shipping it back here or flying it themselves personally back to the Dominican Republic where they then sell it.
Over the course of this investigation, we traced a pipeline stretching from corner stores in Massachusetts to shipping companies in New York to bodegas in the Dominican Republic. The most disturbing part is that throughout the entire investigation, no one acted like any of this was wrong. The individuals we spoke to openly admitted to being part of a system of fraud, where food is collected from charities or bought with EBT and sold for profit. Signs of this fraud can be seen clearly in cities like Lawrence, Massachusetts, where blue shipping barrels are conspicuously displayed outside of corner stores. When food stamps were first introduced in 1964, the program served fewer than 400,000 people, less than 1/5 of 1% of the American population. Applicants had to appear in person at state welfare offices, pass strict income and asset tests, and have their eligibility certified by state caseworkers. Today, nearly 42 million Americans receive SNAP benefits, roughly 1 in 8 people in the United States, costing taxpayers over $100 billion in 2025 alone. Applications can be completed online in minutes, and eligibility rules have been broadened significantly over 6 decades of expansions. What began as a modest safety net for the most vulnerable has grown into one of the largest federal assistance programs in history, and as this investigation shows, it is being openly exploited. We are calling on federal authorities to investigate what we've uncovered, and we are prepared to share our findings with any legitimate investigative body.
Patriots are the muckraker boys. Yes, Letty Milk, we got money for the poor, but not for war. Think of our poor war fighters. Think of the money that's being deprived from them to fund the third world poor. 72% of voters passed a ballot initiative that gave Massachusetts state auditor the ability to audit the legislature. The legislature will not comply. A.G. Campbell refuses to represent the auditor in court. Shortly after Campbell refused, Governor Healy gave her office an additional $7 million to fund her anti-Trump, anti-American lawfare campaign. Just non-stop organized crime. Everywhere you look, every single affiliation of the Democrat Party is just organized crime. And you can see how they'll use these charities then to funnel all this money in for the people, which is something that they'll use then to control elections and leadership struggles in all these other different states. Think about this is like not just happening in the Dominican Republic. This is happening in probably basically every single country. So think about how much of global shipping is just moving around fraudulent goods paid for by American taxpayers. And people, human trafficking, fraud trafficking. This is why we have $40 trillion in debt. It has nothing to do with fucking wars. Retarded libertarians, man. The dumbest controlled opposition talking point of all time. A top Homeland Security official has directed ICE attorneys to aggressively pursue administrative fraud cases against immigration lawyers accused of filing false asylum claims. Think about every immigration lawyer you've ever seen. The scum of the earth. Now they're going to be investigated themselves for fraud. CBS News exclusively obtained the DHS memo directing the new ramp up. The Department of Homeland Security's top lawyer on Tuesday directed ICE attorneys to aggressively pursue administrative fraud cases against immigration lawyers accused of filing false asylum claims. The latest step in the administration's push to speed up removals, expand enforcement, and challenge the legal infrastructure around immigration. In a memo dated May 26 and obtained by CBS News, DHS General Counsel James Percival, that's a powerful name, instructed ICE attorneys within the Office of the Principal Legal Advisor to develop anti-fraud policies designed for robust enforcement of existing federal anti-fraud law. The memo said that any effort, quote, should include enforcement against immigration attorneys filing false asylum claims in immigration court. They're obliterating the possibility of asylum claims. They are crushing it administratively. While the directive does not create new penalties, it signals that ICE lawyers will begin to use existing administrative enforcement tools more frequently to crack down not only against migrants accused of submitting fraudulent applications, but also against the lawyers who represent them. For many years, millions of illegal aliens have committed fraud on our immigration system, Percival wrote, without citing specifics.
He didn't, actually, he didn't cite any specifics. Can you cite a specific, please?
Yeah, how long do you have? We're going to lock, who wrote this? Nicole Skaganga. Nicole Skaganga is going to get locked in a rubber room and A Clockwork Orange style forced to watch the specifics of every single immigration fraud case ever perpetrated in the United States. Clockwork Orange man, yeah. In no place is this more rampant than in immigration court. The sweeping directive asserted that asylum claims are meant for unique and narrow circumstances, but that it has become standard practice for immigration lawyers to argue that virtually every illegal alien faces persecution or torture in their home country because of a protected characteristic such as race or political opinion. The right to seek asylum in the U.S. is broader than the right to receive it. Federal law dictates that any non-citizen who is physically present in the United States or arrives in the country, including outside a designated port of entry and regardless of status, may apply for asylum. But in order to be approved, individuals must prove that they qualify, typically by showing a well-founded fear of persecution based on race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. Think of the sort of incentives that this creates. People to identify as gay. I remember when part of the reason they did the family separation policy in Trump's first term, conceived of by the great Giga Jew, is because it was basically creating a massive incentive for human trafficking, for child trafficking. Just pick up a kid, take him with you, and say, oh, this is my child. You have to bring me in, and you have to keep me together with my child, and you have to give me special consideration because I have a child with me. So think of all the different like political opinions or memberships in groups or whatever that people claim just because they're like a lawyer tells them, hey, you need to say that you're gay or something to be allowed in. Okay, I'm gay. The statute cited in Percival's memo allows the government to pursue civil penalties against people accused of immigration-related document fraud, including those who knowingly prepare, file, or help file applications that are false or contain false statements. Any case would typically begin with a notice of intent to fine, a formal charging document that informs the recipient that the government believes they violated the law and may be fined. While recipients can fight the allegations before an administrative law judge, successful penalties can add up. First offenses can cost up to $4,700 for each fraudulent document or act, while subsequent offenses can reach up to $11,823 per document or act. And then immigration attorneys are, that's one demographic that there's a lot of people who are true believers. They're activists, and this is their form of activism, but they're not wealthy. They can't withstand thousands of dollars in penalties. In his memo, Percival wrote that ICE lawyers have not been using the administrative statute as aggressively as DHS would like. Quote, historically, ICE has depended on the discipline of immigration judges and the enforcement of criminal fraud laws to deter this conduct, but ICE has its own tools. The notice directed ICE attorneys to pursue document fraud enforcement seemingly as part of their immigration court strategy. The memo also appears to anticipate concerns about conflicts of interest, suggesting ICE must ensure that the attorney pushing any fraud violation is appropriately separated from litigation of the underlying immigration case. Inside President Trump's administration. Okay, you guys might have to loosen your belts here. Inside President Trump's administration, the memo reflects a mounting focus on immigration lawyers, asylum advocates, and large law firms challenging federal immigration policy. Got what I voted for again! In March, the president issued a memo directing the attorney general to seek sanctions against lawyers and law firms that bring, quote, frivolous, unreasonable, and vexatious litigation against the U.S. or before federal agencies. Percival's memo explicitly invoked Mr. Trump's directive, accusing some lawyers of coaching migrants in order to conceal facts or exaggerate asylum claims. Oh, just keep getting what I voted for. I cannot imagine not enjoying every last little bit of Donald Trump's America. Thank you, Arthurian candidate, for the $20 tip. Says John Wilkes Booth is the original retard, right? Should have let Lincoln send them back and said he spurged, and now we have modern problems. So true. So true. John Wilkes Booth is the OG retard, right? What a banger. I confirmed that the automation thing ran out of monthly credits because we're here at the end of the month. So the tip automation is not going to work. So I'm just going to keep checking it. $20, so we're at $124.
Keep my motherfucking president name out your mouth. Fuck niggas. Don't fuck with my motherfucking president.
So true.
I'm a human nigger going hard as fuck.
There you go.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the White House releasing proof of aliens. Please do send your tips in, tips.kingpill.com. Let's see if we can get to the $200 mark. If we can do that, which would be basically another $75, $188 tip, perhaps. If we get to the $200 mark, then as soon as I finish the next few tabs that I've got here, I will stick around, and there's one of two things I can do. I can either watch that Rufo and Lomez interviewing Yarvin episode. We can watch that and talk about that. Or I've got a post that was sent to me by a fan of the show at stopbeingprey.com. The Losertarian problem. Why libertarians lose, why conservatives are prey, why progressives became the apex predators, and why Trump and MAGA are the first counter energy in 2 generations. It's a long one, but it sounds... I haven't read it fully, but I had Grok summarize it for me, and it's a banger. I can tell you that. So, if you guys would like me to do one of those things, then please do send in your tips at tips.kingpilled.com. Proof of aliens from White House Twitter account. They walk among us. Aliens.gov. What do they mean by this? Well, here is aliens.gov. For 60 years, the U.S. government has kept a closely guarded secret. Aliens have been walking among us, living in our neighborhoods, and interacting with us in our daily lives. They've shopped in the same stores, attended the same classes as our children, and lived seemingly normal human existences. Hold on, this is too loud. With one exception, they do not belong here. Millions arrived under the cover of darkness and embedded themselves directly into our society. Countless presidents, congressmen, and senior officials knew exactly what was happening. Instead of protecting American citizens, they chose to cover it up and even accelerate the invasion, until one man finally had the courage to tell the truth. Bold, unapologetic, unafraid. President Trump was the first to call out the real danger aliens pose to every American family, every community, and the future of our nation. The truth is no longer out there. It is right here, right now. Top secret! We must continue. 3,129,616 and counting encounters. An alien arrest map. Live alien arrest map. Dates of arrests. Criminal charges. Countries of origin. Yes, the aliens they're talking about are illegal aliens. There is now a nation arrest map for all the illegal aliens, published by my president, breaking it down by city, indicating gang affiliations. If you've witnessed an alien abduction, do not be alarmed. The alien is in good hands. We will take care of it and return it safely to its place of origin. Report suspicious aliens. ICE tip line. They weren't little green men. These aliens are the millions of illegals who invaded our country under the cover of darkness. President Trump told the truth. The cover-up is over. Secure the border. Deport them all. So true, Mr. President. Aliens.gov. You could go see it yourself. It has been declassified. We finally have proof. And we're sending them all back. Straight Buster says, call my president Master Chief the way he's taking out aliens. So true. Okay, couple of RFK clips.
There's also there's many other confirmation studies. There's 2 studies that show children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism. It's highly likely because they're given Tylenol. So, none of this is this positive, but all of it is stuff that we should be paying attention to.
Yeah. But, there's a tremendous amount of proof or evidence, I would say, as a non-doctor, but I've studied this a long time ago.
RFK Jr. Children who are circumcised early have double the rate
Welcome
of autism.
To the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Thank you, Nevsky. Congratulations, Cheeky. Trump says, I've studied this a long time. My president is an expert on circumcision and autism. And I just got to say, I had the story I showed the other day about Redditors are doing mass crematorium logistics calculations. And President Trump and RFK are combating the scourge of circumcision. Yet another day in Trump's golden age. Mr. Sue! Hold on here. Let's see if I think I've got a 1488 here I can play for you so you get your Erica. Here we go.
Patriots in control.
That was what M. Guest said. Sue says, if only that Norwegian Indian was trafficked as a kid, maybe he'd have a family today. Dave is my gay lover. He needs to turn me on by helping us hit the $200 goal so I can hear my favorite stream daddy. I wish Justine could have read that instead of me. But I can't disagree. Yes, where's Dave? Dave, you must help us hit the goal. 1488. And and then we got a $25 from Kai Akins. Thank you, Kai. So let's see, adding $40 puts us at 144. So we need another $50 or so. My wife says that Eastwood got his autism for free. So true. Oh, let's see. What can I do here? Let's do one of these.
Adolf Hitler, if you can hear me, please save us. Adolf Hitler, if you can hear me, please save us.
Never listen to a panikin.
So true. So true.
And there's this show, King Pill, they call it King Pill. Absolutely incredible. One of the best shows. Run by a total patriot. They call him Matthew Erickstein, king of the MAGA chuds.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I hear something. I hear something outside my door. I wonder what it could be. I hear rustling sounds. Wait for it. It's ICE. ICE is showing up to raid me. ICE is going to show up and tell me about Saturn. Ah! Look who it is!
Alien!
It's an alien! Quick! Mr. President, I found one! Aliens.gov. How you doing, bud? You getting ready for bed? You silly boy. It's late. It's past your bedtime. What are you doing up here?
Saying goodnight to you, Daddy.
Saying goodnight. I love you, mister.
Love you too, Daddy.
Did you just fartimus toot in here? You're fartimus tootin'!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off!
Blast off! Come do that over here. Come do that where they could see you. Come do the blast off sound again up here, where your face is on the camera.
Blast off.
Well, close, I guess. No, he farted and then he counted down.
Yeah. I'll tell you what happened to Challenger.
What happened to Challenger?
Okay, so it didn't explode.
You got to come up here or they can't hear you.
I'm gonna tell you what happened to Challenger.
Okay, what was it?
So it was like that.
Uh-huh.
That's it on the launch pad. Then it launched. And when it flew over the ocean, and then a part of the booster came loose, so the entire thing disintegrated, and when it hit the ocean, it exploded.
Yeah.
That's when it exploded, not in the sky. Oh, can you play that?
You want to see the video of the snakes? Okay. So here's a video that RFK posted the other day. Cheryl cheerleads the removal of a pair of black racers from Dr. Oz's patio.
A pair?
A pair, yeah. This was posted by Father Chris Johnson at Priest Christoph. A great follow on X. He said, when she starts getting nervous, he just stands there smiling and laughing, getting bit. Champion behavior. Our champion RFK. He's just grabbing them.
What are they? Well, they're having sex, John.
They're trying to bite him.
What were they? They're not
Yeah, probably. They got him.
Are they biting? Jesus, their mouths are huge.
Easy, dude. And then after that went viral, then he posted this one. Easy, dude. Easy. Don't pull on my beard. In response to the many comments about venomous snakes, this video shows how Cheryl and I handled a recent rattlesnake rescue. You want to see a video of a rattlesnake rescue? All right, you got to come up here and see it. You got to stand still.
Rattlesnake in the driveway.
Hold on, guys. I'll be back in a flash.
Only you.
Amazing.
That's amazing. Only you.
Look at it. Watch what he does. He's using that tool to isolate his head. Get it apart from the rest of his body. Head it down so he can't fight it. Once he's got his head controlled, then he can use his fingers to pick it up right behind its head so that it can't bite it. So you hold your pretend snakes. Snake yaku is very. Hear the rattle? Maybe you can't hear that.
There's a strangler in there. I don't want to touch him. No. Yeah, Cheryl, to bring me a military.
No, honey, no. I want it here.
He's a beautiful snake. He's a Western diamondback. You can tell. Look at these rings at the end of his tail.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna put him in here.
Chase.
All safe. Much better place for this guy.
There he goes. That's pretty cool, huh? All right, big guy. Come on. Time to say goodnight. Please get out from under there. Eastwood.
It's time travel.
Come here. Time to say goodnight. Come give me a hug, please. I love you, mister. Nope.
Welcome
nope.
to the
You
Gulag.
Stay down.
If you survive, you earn your freedom.
I love you. Stay down, please. Time to go down and go to bed, okay, big guy? Go give mommy a hug for me. You say goodnight to everyone?
Good night.
Gaga says goodnight. She says she loves you very, very much.
Good night, Gaga. Love you too.
Oh, okay. This show used to the Indian who was playing with the cobra and died in like 2 minutes. I don't think we need to start introducing him to snuff films just yet. Time to go.
Okay.
Thank you, Emperor Atreides, for the gifted sub. We have hit the end of the tabs, so let me double check the tip situation and see here. Nothing else has come in. So we're at, let's see. What did I say we were at? We're at 144. So I'll give it, we need like $60. I'll give it a couple minutes here and see if anybody wants me to continue. Dave Combobulated over on X said, sitting in Jimmy John's waiting for my spicy Italian and watching the Lave. We live in the best time. So true. So true. Dave Combobulated, the great patriot. Very, very true. Let's see. Did I have anything else that was immediately here? Spicy Italian, you mean Tom Luongo? Politically Catholic says, continue. I got you covered. Okay. Politically Catholic says to continue. So you guys now have a choice. You need to decide whether you want to do, let's see, whether you want to do the Yarvin interview or the Losertarian problem article. You guys come to a consensus in the chat. I am going to take a quick tinkle break. Very masculinely. I'm going to very masculinely tinkle. And you guys come to a consensus. I'll give you guys a little bit of EWBSX. And when I come back, we will do one or the other.
Live without a care. What's up? It's the cyberbully, just checking in. Speaking of checking in, when's the last time that you got your T checked? Just consider this a periodic reminder that testosterone is incredibly important. So, even if you need to consult a doctor, because I've been told that they will, in fact, check your T. That's right, they'll get their squiggly little fingers in there and check it. So, just something to consider. Something to mull over as you listen to these next few tunes. And I'll see you on the other side. It's EWBSX, the cyberbully.
Baby, don't be absurd. Nationalism's not a bad word. Nationalism. Nationalism. Baby, don't be absurd. Nationalism's not a bad word. Nationalism. Nationalism. Well, I'm ready. Cashed in my tokens, I'm ready. No longer broken, I'm ready. Thank God I'm found and I'm ready. Drop through the ceiling, I'm ready. Gonna bare my soul and I'm ready. Go toe to toe and I'm ready. Like a midnight show and I'm ready. Burn down the building, I'm done placating to the wisdomless. I got a deep dark shadow when my fingers itch. I'm gonna save this country, gonna save these kids. I'm gonna show these niggas what the white man is. I'm gonna save this country from the lying Jew. Gonna deport these Muslims and I'm coming for you. We'll scrap the whole damn thing, then we'll try it again. And this time you're not allowed in. Baby, don't be absurd. Nationalism's not a bad word. Nationalism. Nationalism. Baby, don't be absurd. Nationalism's not a bad word. Nationalism. Nationalism. The Jews, it's the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, it's the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, it's the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, it's the Jews. Hey. Gestapo leftists getting way too cozy. These media moguls getting way too nosy. All I ever heard a black man say is you owe me. If it wasn't for us, you'd be a cannibal, homie. It's time we start getting the respect we deserve, instead of giving these people something they didn't earn. These immigrants showing out with a whole lot of nerve. If she was back home, babe, they would have beheaded her. Baby, don't be absurd. Nationalism's not a bad word. Nationalism. Nationalism. Baby, don't be absurd. Nationalism's not a bad word. Nationalism. Nationalism.
I guess I'm Hitler. Steven? No, I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
I'm Hitler.
No, I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I'm Hitler. I am. Yeah, I'm Hitler. No, nobody's more Hitler than.
All right, I have returned. Thank you to Pale Morning Dude, who sent over $20 and voted for Losertarian. And then Politically Catholic sent in $88, said, did I miss your take on the latest in the Iran deal situation, real or fake? No, you did not. I did not have a take on it. I'm mostly kind of ambivalent until I think that the whole back and forth is going to continue, but it seems as if there does seem to be a trajectory to it that inevitably we're going to come to some kind of a resolution, and that resolution is going to involve the reintegration of Iran into the civilized world, let's say. So I think one of the interesting subplots in here is the Uranium One matter. That the theory goes that all the uranium involved in the Uranium One scandal with Hillary Clinton was ultimately funneled to Iran as part of the Iran deal. So essentially, they gave them the uranium to enrich, and they gave them the pallets of cash to fund the whole project. And that's like a subplot here, that when Trump talks about needing to get that uranium and this being like a total...
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Thank you for the gifted subs. Emperor Atreides, 5 gifted subs. 7%er Ozarker Pleb, Trend Führer, Melly, and Riken Ryuzen. Riken Ryuzen. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Congratulations to you guys. So this is why Trump is like pressing hard on needing to get the uranium, because they can, if you have the uranium, you can identify where it was sourced from, and there could be like a smoking gun that's in there. But yeah, otherwise I don't have a strong take on the Iran thing just yet. I've kind of been waiting for a big enough happening that's not just rumors of a potential agreement, but actually when my president says that it's done, then I will believe that it's done, and then I can truly react to it. Thank you for the $88. I found an $88 one I can play for you from Duffhead.
They don't understand the things I say on Twitter.
So true, so true. Heil Hitler to all my niggas out there. All right, now I've got a bit of a dilemma here because it seems as if I saw more people that in the chat said they wanted the Arvin video. However, the one who put money behind it was Pale Morning Dude. So I have no choice but to go with Pale Morning Dude. We're going to read the Losertarian problem. Why libertarians lose, why conservatives are prey, why progressives became the apex predators, and why Trump and MAGA are the first counter-energy in 2 generations. Now, the guy who wrote this is actually, he's a good follow. You should go follow him. I just tagged him, so hopefully he knows that this is happening. Stop Being Prey is his handle on X. Stop Being Prey. This is Clay from stopbeingprey.com. Yesterday, I posted something on Facebook about libertarians being losers. A man named Joe showed up in the comments to defend Libertarian Frame against my attack on it. But he didn't argue with my points. He didn't refute anything specifically. He just performed contempt for the challenge. His first comment: "That's a compelling argument for totalitarianism. Very demoralizing. I guess we are locked into the degenerative spiral. Good luck, everyone." Read it carefully. He wasn't conceding my argument was compelling. He was sarcastically equating stop being prey with embrace totalitarianism, the standard libertarian deflection when someone suggests using power to fight back. I replied, invited him to the list to hear me out, and he came back. I'm not interested in hearing that trash every day. I replied again, told him he can unsubscribe anytime, and he came back again. Oh, I'm here to engage. I'm not signing up for your email, though. That's a waste of time. 3 comments, 3 returns, 0 engagement with the actual argument. Here's what Joe was actually doing. Joe wasn't talking to me. He was performing for the other libertarians watching the thread. He was signaling to them that my challenge could be dismissed, that nobody had to take this seriously, that the collective frame was safe. That's how the loser frame defends itself. Not with arguments, with public contempt. Performed by people who never actually have to engage. I'm not telling you this to dunk on Joe. Joe is fine. Joe is normal. Joe is doing exactly what the libertarian frame trains you to do when somebody challenges it. I should know. I did the same thing for 15 years. This article is for Joe. It's for me 15 years ago when I was Joe. It's for every libertarian who's been trained to dismiss challenges instead of engaging them, perform contempt instead of building power, signal purity to other prey instead of doing the work that actually matters. Today, we figure out why. A long time ago, almost feels like another life now, I was a contract weather observer at an airport. Not glamorous. I did METARs for a small aerodrome. If you're a pilot, you know what that is. If not, just picture me in a tiny office telling local pilots what kind of clouds were in the area, how high they were, what the weather was doing. I worked for about 5 minutes every hour. The rest of the time I sat at a computer. Mostly I watched The Sopranos and wasted time. I had no interest in politics. I was a default liberal who didn't even know he was a liberal. I thought socialized healthcare was good. I thought Michael Moore made great points. I was a fish swimming in water without realizing he was wet. Then one night, between weather observations, a Republican primary debate happened to be on the TV. I caught a moment that disrupted my entire world. You have to understand the context. This was 2007. Post 9/11 America was still locked into the war on terror. Everyone with a microphone was on board. Democrats, Republicans, didn't matter. The narrative was settled. They hate us for our freedom. To question it was to side with the terrorists. So there's this Republican primary debate. One of the candidates is a weird little gynecologist congressman from Texas. Nobody takes him seriously. He's a curiosity. His name is Ron Paul. The moderator asks, why do they hate us? Everyone gives the standard answers. Then it gets to Ron Paul. And Ron Paul says the unsayable. He says maybe it has something to do with the fact that we've been bombing them for 10 years. He says the CIA calls it blowback. It's not a secret. It's been their own analysis for decades. The audience gasps. And Rudy Giuliani, the hero of 9/11, the man who walked through ash on the streets of Manhattan, jumps in like a knight defending the kingdom. He says he's never heard anyone suggest America invited the attack of September 11. He demands Ron Paul withdraw his statement. The audience erupts, standing ovation, the room is on its feet. Ron Paul stands there looking like he's been punched in the face. And then he doesn't back down. He walks through the history. Carefully, piece by piece. He explains American intervention in the Middle East with the kind of coherent specificity nobody else on that stage could match. He's not saying we deserved it. He's saying we should understand what's happening to us. He holds the line while America is screaming at him. Shoulders back, head high, calm. I'm watching this clip on the TV at the airport between weather observations, and something cracks open in my head. Because somewhere underneath the screaming and the standing ovation and the certainty, I can see that the only adult in the room is the guy nobody takes seriously. That was the moment. Ron Paul demonstrated something on that stage I didn't have a name for yet. He was a predator. The only one. Everyone else was performing certainty for the cameras. He was telling the truth while the room turned on him. That's what drew me in. And though nobody knew it at the time, that moment was also where MAGA was born. The Ron Paul revolution started in that room. The energy Ron Paul unleashed by telling the truth on a hostile stage eventually found a different vessel. 9 years later, Donald Trump came down an escalator and picked up the same fight. Different fighter, same lineage. It started with a gynecologist from Texas refusing to lie about the war on terror. I got the entrepreneurial bug shortly after that airport job. I also started reading. Mises, Hayek, Rothbard, Bastiat, Hoppe, Rand, the objectivists, the minarchists, the anarcho-capitalists, the left libertarians, even some of the anarcho-communists. I consumed it. I bought gold coins. I got into Bitcoin early. I built one of Dave Smith's first fan pages on Facebook back before he was Dave Smith. Got him hundreds of thousands of views on clips before Rogan, before he blew up. I have receipts in this movement. I've been a hardcore libertarian for the better part of 20 years. Full traverse. Started as a minarchist, ended up as an anarcho-capitalist. There are very few people on this planet who have spent more intimate time with libertarian ideas than I have. And I'm struggling with them now. The first big rupture happened the year I made real money for the first time. I was a young entrepreneur, didn't know about taxes, didn't incorporate, didn't understand what was coming. I had a great year, and then tax season arrived, and I owed a huge amount. More money than I knew what to do with at the time. More money than I'd ever seen in my life. And when tax season hit, I was in the highest bracket. I had to write a check to the government for an amount that was greater than every asset I owned. Greater than the rusted out Toyota I was driving, greater than anything in my account. I'd never seen that kind of money before, and the first time I did, the government took it. And while this was happening, do you know what was on the news? Bailouts. GM, the big car companies, begging the government for taxpayer money. And I knew people who worked for those companies. They had nice new cars. They had homes that were paid off. They had pensions and benefits and the kind of stable middle-class life I was years away from being able to afford. And those people told me how hard done by they were, how they were entitled to government money, while I was writing that check for my bachelor apartment with a noisy neighbor. That hurt. And then, when I would bring this up to them, they would treat me like I'm being the selfish and greedy one, like I'm the one trying to take from society. That made the libertarian arguments stop being arguments and start being lived experience. Taxation is theft? You're goddamn right it's theft. I only paid because they would put me in prison if I didn't. And I don't believe for a second they're using that money wisely. Dave Smith once said, the state is just the mafia pretending to be a human rights organization. That sentence resonated with me so strongly, I've never gotten over it. Harry Brown said the government is good at one thing. It knows how to break your legs, hand you a crutch, and tell you without the government you wouldn't be able to walk. That's it. That's the whole game. The libertarians are correct. Nothing had ever resonated with me as hard as these kinds of quotes did. And Rothbard synthesized all of it with Machiavellian precision in Anatomy of the State. If you haven't read it, go do it right after you read this. It's a legitimate upgrade you can install in your brain in one afternoon. Rothbard explained that the thing that makes the state different from every other organization in society is the monopoly on violence. Not healthcare, not roads, not welfare, not public service, not the collective good, not any of the polite fictions we tell ourselves. The state is the institution that gets to decide when violence is legitimate. Everything else is downstream of that single fact. Healthcare backed by taxation is healthcare backed by violence. Roads backed by taxation are roads backed by violence. Pay or go to jail. This is the fundamental libertarian insight. And it's all true. Every word of it. It's logically airtight. You end up looking silly if you try to argue against it. But there's a problem. I started noticing it slowly. It took years, decades even. The libertarians were correct about almost everything, and we kept losing. Not occasionally, not on the margins. We lose everything, every fight, every decade. Federal Reserve grew, federal budget grew, surveillance state grew, interventions abroad continued. The country got less free every single year of my adult life, despite the fact that we had won, on paper, every intellectual argument worth having. Not just losing, that's not the right word, not even in the game. An embarrassment. Libertarianism was something you keep to yourself, like Scientology or some crazy religion. I would sit in the Ron Paul forums, libertarian Discord servers, and Facebook groups and watch people get angry about this, then explain to each other why the average person was just too brainwashed to see the truth, why the educational system had failed, why the corporate media had captured everyone. It never occurred to anyone that the problem wasn't just downstream of bad ideas in the public. Maybe the problem was upstream. Is it possible that we, the libertarians, were doing something wrong? Is it possible we didn't have it all figured out like we thought? Maybe there's something missing. Let's fast forward to 2015. Donald Trump came down the escalator, and something shifted. The whole world changed that day. The main character of this grand story we're all living through emerged into the scene for his final chapter. Here's the deeper truth. I sort of became a Trump guy almost immediately, but I was ashamed of it as a libertarian, so I kept it quiet. I constantly criticized Trump from a libertarian perspective to show the other libertarians in my life how pure I was. I did this for years. I'm ashamed of it. I was a losertarian. That's the loser frame in real time. Performing purity for an audience while my actual instincts pointed somewhere else. I was the exact thing this article is about. The slow march wasn't me coming around to Trump. The slow march was me slowly being willing to admit publicly what I'd already privately decided. Only in the last 2 or 3 years have I admitted fully to myself and to others that I'm done with libertarianism as a political project. But the seed was planted in 2015. Because Trump on a debate stage was doing something I had only ever seen one other Republican primary candidate do. He was just like Ron Paul that night on the stage with Giuliani, but even more dangerous. Not nearly as polite and well-mannered. I just got to pause here for a second to say that the mentions of Dave Smith, the involvement with Dave Smith, and using the Ron Paul, Rudy Giuliani moment to illustrate this and saying that using that precisely to draw the connection to Trump, that Trump was exactly what Ron Paul was doing in that Rudy Giuliani moment, which anybody who's ever listened to a little bit of Dave Smith knows this is his origin story that he always comes back to. Using that now to make the case for Trump and for libertarianism as a dead political ideology is exquisite. Ron Paul on that 2007 stage was an honest, good-natured man telling the truth as he saw it while the room turned on him. Trump on the 2015 stage was something different. Trump knew exactly how the cameras worked. Trump knew exactly how the audience worked. Trump knew exactly how the moderators worked. And Trump used all of it to his advantage. A masterclass in persuasion, as the late great Scott Adams would put it. Ron Paul behaved like a predator who had no interest in eating his prey. He's much too gracious. Donald Trump is a predator in the same way that progressives are predators. He collects scalps and keeps them as trophies. But he decided to join our team. And he told us he was going to teach us how to win. Then he went on to humiliate the Clinton and Bush dynasties in one fell swoop. It was magnificent. This is the line I keep coming back to. Progressives have been the apex predators in American politics since at least FDR. Their entire culture is predatory. They name enemies. They take territory. They institutionalize their wins. They dominate every institution that grants social legitimacy. They don't apologize for using power because using power is what they do. Conservatives have been prey for 90 years. Articulate, well-funded, perpetually losing prey. They play by rules nobody else respects, then act surprised when they lose. Then they write lots of strongly worded letters. Libertarians are below prey, if there is such a thing. Libertarians refuse to play the game at all and then act like they're above it. They're not. They're tax livestock just like the rest of us. Livestock! You're not even prey! You're not even like you're not like a rabbit. You're not like some prey animal that maybe has some great extra benefits. No, literally your only benefit is that you can be chained up and consumed. And then Trump showed up and demonstrated on a national stage that you could fight progressive predators in their own register, that you could name enemies, that you could mock them and have the audience erupt in laughter at them, that you could refuse to apologize, that you could actually win. Finally, the right had a predator of its own. No more Mitt Romney, no more Jeb Bush, no more polite losers. Now there's someone with some teeth and a lion's mane for a haircut. There's a debate moment from the 2016 primaries that I keep coming back to. Rand Paul and Donald Trump on the same stage. The Trans-Pacific Partnership came up and Trump attacked it as a deal designed for China to come in through the back door. Rand Paul, Ron Paul's son, the libertarian guy on the stage, the only candidate up there with a coherent libertarian platform, jumped in to correct him. China is not part of the TPP. Rand was 100% factually correct. Didn't matter. Trump didn't engage on the substance. He attacked Rand's poll numbers. He attacked Rand's appearance. He went personal. The audience went with Trump. Rand Paul, who was right, got steamrolled by Donald Trump, who was wrong. Dave Smith called it hilarious and tragic. His takeaway, oh, I guess Trump just won that moment. That's where we're at. Dave saw it clearly. We're in a system where being right doesn't win the moment. Being effective wins the moment. Trump was effective. Rand was right. Trump won. That's the diagnosis. The libertarian framework rewards being correct. The actual political environment rewards being effective. Those are not the same thing. Now let me tell you about a moment from 2011 that I think captures everything. It was CPAC, February 2011. Trump had just started hinting that he might run for president. This was effectively his first major political speech. The crowd had a heavy Ron Paul contingent. They started chanting Ron Paul's name. Trump didn't lie to them. He looked at the room and said, Ron Paul cannot get elected, I'm sorry to tell you. Ron Paul supporters booed him. Trump leaned in. I like Ron Paul. I think he's a good guy. But honestly, he just has zero chance of getting elected. You have to win an election. Another round of boos from the Ron Paul section. The rest of the room cheered. That last sentence is the whole argument I'm trying to make to you today. You have to win an election. Trump understood the predator-prey dynamic in 2011 before he'd even formally entered politics. He honored Ron Paul. He paid the man real respect. And he refused to flatter the supporters about whether their movement in its current form could win. The Ron Paul faithful in that room booed him for telling them the truth. That's the loser frame captured live 15 years before I sat down to write this. They wanted to be told they could win, even though they couldn't. Trump refused to flatter them. They booed, the rest of the room cheered. Trump has always understood Most libertarians never have and maybe never will. I might be a rare exception. I hope that's not the case. Here's the thing libertarians refuse to see. Power is what makes ideas matter. Without power, you don't have ideas. You have a hobby. I want you to sit with that sentence for a second because it's the spine of everything I'm going to say next. Libertarianism is a hobby, not a serious political force. How is it that libertarians have been right about almost everything for the last 50 years and have less control over the country than they did 50 years ago? I mean, I personally would probably quibble with them having been right about almost everything. But this is something written to libertarians to appeal to libertarians, so I won't quibble too hard. If ideas mattered on their own, libertarianism would have won by now. The Mises Institute has been publishing for decades. Reason magazine's been around since 1968. Every economic argument libertarians make has been made beautifully in books, journals, conferences, podcasts, debates. They've been winning the intellectual war for half a century. And taxes are higher. The federal debt has crossed $39 trillion. The Fed prints money like someone printing junk mail. None of the things libertarians warned about got better. All of them got worse. So the ideas by themselves don't matter. Something else is doing the work. Here's how it works. America is ruled. Not by elected officials, not by laws, not by the Constitution. America is ruled by a class. A class that controls the universities, the media, the foundations, most of the courts, the public schools, the regulatory state, the credentialing systems, the major NGOs, the corporate HR layer that polices behavior in every Fortune 500 company. They share an ideology. They credential each other. They reward each other. They punish dissenters together. They function as a single organism, even though no one is officially in charge. That class has been the apex predators in American politics since at least FDR. They've held the slot for 90 years. You live in their country, that's the truth. They set the rules for the land you live on. Most of what your elected officials do is theater. Kayfabe, as the kids call it. They control symbolic levers. The apex class controls the actual levers. Regulatory rulemaking, media narratives, academic credentials, institutional gatekeeping, the censorship layer, industry capture. The libertarian map is wrong. Libertarians treat the state as the apex predator. The state is downstream. The state is just a tool that the apex class uses. Reduce the size of the state, and the apex class just rules through different channels. Look at how they enforce speech. The First Amendment legally protects you from state censorship, so the apex class doesn't censor through the state. They censor through banks, debanking donors, through employers firing wrong thinkers, through tech platforms, deplatforming dissent, through universities credentialing only the ideologically aligned, through corporate cancellations, driven by advertiser pressure. Cut the IRS in half tomorrow and the apex class would still own the country. They didn't need the IRS to enforce ideological conformity. They have 1,000 other tools and can create new ones on the fly. Your libertarian principles have become cope. They are your excuse for losing. You're not fooling anyone other than other libertarians. Free speech, property rights, due process, sound money, all of them have been chipped away or eliminated while libertarians wrote books about why those principles matter. The books didn't save them. Power could have. Libertarians refuse to seek power, and they pull down anyone who does like crabs in a bucket. No one is pure enough. He's writing this to libertarians, but I'm sure any of you who are listening here, you know exactly the lens through which I'm reading this. There's a new class of libertarians who don't call themselves libertarians, but they think and act and behave exactly like libertarians. Want a concrete picture of what apex class power looks like? Donald Trump was prosecuted 4 times across multiple jurisdictions in the years he was running for president again. Civil fraud trial in New York, federal Jan 6 case, federal classified docs case, Georgia election interference. Different jurisdictions, different prosecutors, different theories, all targeting the same man at the same time. Do you think that's a coincidence? It's not. That's coordination across institutions that share an ideology and a target. The state apparatus mobilized against the only candidate with predator instincts on the right. That's the apex class flexing through its institutional infrastructure. And the fact that Trump survived it is a pretty critical sign that he's your best shot. Your leader. Now ask yourself something. Who does the elected president take orders from when he tries to do something the apex class doesn't want? Why was Trump prosecuted 4 times across multiple jurisdictions for things no other president has been prosecuted for? Why do all the major corporations fly the same flag during the same month? Who's coordinating that? Nobody is. They share an ideology. That's enough. It's a decentralized network of apex predators carrying institutional power. The libertarian thinks the state is the threat. The actual threat is a class that uses the state, the corporations, the foundations, the universities, and the media in coordination. You cannot defeat that class by writing essays about taxation. You defeat it by becoming a predator class of your own and seizing the state. Or if you don't defeat it, you submit to it. Admit you are prey and move on with your life. There's no shame in it. For many, it's the right choice. You don't have what it takes for this whole politics thing. You're going to get yourself and others hurt. Find your champions and support them. Don't try to lead until you've earned it. You need scars. Those are the only 2 options. You don't get to invent a third. Predator or prey? Which are you going to be? Decide now. Now let me tell you the most important political story of the last 5 years that nobody has told you quite this way. In May 2024, Donald Trump walked into the Libertarian National Convention in Washington, D.C., and gave a speech. He was the first major party candidate in history to ever speak at the LP convention. He knew he would be booed. He knew the crowd was hostile. The Ron Paul wing was there. The anti-war wing was there. The hard money wing was there. Even the libertarian socialists were there. Many of these people had spent a decade calling Trump a fascist, a statist, a war criminal. Trump showed up anyway. For the real ones, this counts for something. For the jokers, keep screaming into the void. He was booed throughout the speech, heckled. Some attendees threw punches at his supporters. Security pulled people out of the room. It was chaos. In the middle of the chaos, Trump made a promise. If you vote for me, on day 1, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. Ross Ulbricht is the founder of the Silk Road. He'd been in federal prison since 2013, serving 2 life sentences plus 40 years for running an internet marketplace. Libertarians have been calling him a political prisoner for over a decade. Nobody expected him to ever walk out of prison. Trump promised to free him. That was one of the only lines in the speech that got unanimous cheers. Behind that promise was a deal, a real one, brokered by a libertarian operator named Angela McArdle. McArdle was the chair of the Libertarian National Committee at the time. She was the one who got Trump invited to the convention. She built the bridge between the Mises Caucus wing of the LP and the Trump campaign. The Mises Caucus, by the way, did not get the candidate they wanted in 2024. The convention narrowly nominated Chase Oliver. Chase Oliver is a progressive libertarian, pro-LGBT, pro-immigration, anti-war from the left-coded angle. Nobody in McArdle's faction wanted him. McArdle lost that fight. What she did next is the cleanest demonstration of predator class behavior I've ever watched in real time. She didn't pout. She didn't undermine the nominee. She made a strategic pivot and turned the loss into a weapon. She told her people, one of the best ways to stop a second Biden term is to go hard in the paint for Chase Oliver in blue states. That's the move. Chase Oliver was progressive on social issues. So in blue states where libertarian voters lean culturally progressive, Oliver's name on the ballot would peel votes from the Democrat, not Trump. McArdle directed her party's energy. Campaign for Oliver where it hurts the Democrats. Make him the new Ralph Nader. She also said her goal for the LP that year was, in plain language, to ensure Trump won. The libertarian movement was furious. Petitions for her resignation. State affiliates refused to put Oliver on the ballot. Most of the movement couldn't see what she was doing. She was playing power. Trump won the election. On January 21, 2025, on his second day back in the White House, Trump did more than what he had promised. He didn't just commute the sentence, he signed a full, unconditional pardon. Ross Ulbricht walked out of prison a free man. Trump called Lynn Ulbricht, Ross's mother, personally to tell her. Then he posted this on Truth Social. I just called the mother of Ross William Ulbricht to let her know that in honor of her and the libertarian movement, which supported me so strongly, it was my pleasure to have just signed a full and unconditional pardon of her son Ross. In honor of the libertarian movement. He named us by name. Then he added, The scum that worked to convict him were some of the same lunatics who were involved in the modern-day weaponization of government against me. The scum, the lunatics, the weaponization of government. He aligned himself openly with the libertarian movement against the apex class. He didn't owe libertarians anything by that point. The election was won. He had no political need to honor the movement. He honored it anyway. There are libertarians who get this. Angela McArdle is one of them. She is now the chair of the Mises Caucus PAC, recruiting Bitcoin and Maha coalitions for the next phase of the project. Jeremy Kauffman is another. When 2 FBI agents showed up at his New Hampshire home in 2024 to question him about a tweet, he didn't cooperate. He turned the camera on them. He demanded their badges. They refused to identify themselves. He kept recording. He published the video online, and the agents walked away with nothing. It went mega viral. That's a man who knows what game is being played and refuses to lose frame. Kauffman also literally held up a MAGA equals socialist sign at a Trump rally in 2024. 3 months later, when the LP nominated Chase Oliver, Kauffman publicly posted, "Yesterday I held up this sign calling Donald Trump supporters socialists. Today, the Libertarian Party nominated a gay race communist for president. With those choices, I'm standing with Donald Trump." That's a predator. You criticize when criticism is earned. You ally when the alternative is the apex class. You stand on your rights when the state comes to push you around. You don't perform purity at the expense of your country. But here's what most libertarians did with Trump's gift. They turned on him. Trump showed up at their convention when they were calling him a fascist. He kept his promise to free their political prisoner. He honored their movement publicly when he didn't have to. He aligned himself with them against the apex class, hunting them both. Many of them turned on him over a single foreign policy disagreement. That's the loyalty problem in its purest form. Trump fought for libertarians. Libertarians won't fight for Trump. That's the betrayal, the losertarianism. Now, I want to honor another libertarian before I deliver some hard truth. Dave Smith. Dave Smith built the bridge. There is no Mises Caucus victory at Reno in 2022 without Dave Smith. There is no Angela McArdle as LNC chair without Dave Smith. There is no Trump appearance at the 2024 LP convention without Dave Smith. There is no Ross Ulbricht pardon without Dave Smith. That's the truth. Dave Smith spent over a decade hosting part of the problem. He built the cultural mass that made the Mises Caucus politically possible. He took libertarian ideas onto Joe Rogan, Greg Gutfeld, Fox News. He pushed the post-Ron Paul movement's voice into audiences nobody else in the libertarian world could reach. Angela McArdle stood on Dave Smith's shoulders to win the LP. Without him, none of it happens. I owe Dave a debt. So does every serious libertarian operating today. So does Ross Ulbricht. And he's fucking up right now. After Trump took office and made certain foreign policy moves Dave disagreed with, Dave hardened publicly. He started calling for Trump to be impeached. He pivoted on a single foreign policy disagreement from build alliance with Trump to Trump must be removed. That's the loyalty problem in a single move. The man who diagnosed libertarian failure for 15 years is performing libertarian failure in real time. He couldn't hold the alliance the moment it required swallowing something he disagreed with. This is hard for me to write because I respect Dave Smith deeply. He's a big reason I went deeper into libertarianism. I built one of his first fan pages on Facebook long before he was ever on Rogan. I have a bit of history with the man. But the truth is the truth. Dave Smith built the bridge, Angela McArdle walked across it, and then Dave Smith turned around and tried to burn it down. That's my read on it. He couldn't make the transition from cultural influencer to political operator. That's a different species jump than most people realize. McArdle could make it, Dave couldn't. Dave has the platform to be a force the apex class genuinely fears. Right now, he's using that platform to attack the only counter energy that could displace them. So here's the categorization I want you to take with you. There are 3 kinds of libertarians right now. Serious libertarians. Predators. They recognize the moment, ally with the counter energy, and build power. Angela McArdle, Jeremy Kauffman, the operators in the Mises Caucus PAC. They're imperfect, they make mistakes, they're still the most important people in this movement. Then there's jokers. Performers. They cope through purity worship while the progressives take everything. They don't help anyone, they protect their own self-image as ideologically clean. Dave Smith is currently playing this role, sadly. So is most of the libertarian commentariat. So are Joe and countless other libertarians in my comments yesterday. And then enemies. Functionally allied with progressives, whether they realize it or not. When the choice was binary, they chose against MAGA, which means they chose with the apex class by default. They might still call themselves libertarians, but they're auxiliaries for the class that want to eliminate it. Bill Weld endorsed Biden in 2020 as a former libertarian VP candidate. Justin Amash spent years attacking Trump from positions indistinguishable from progressive talking points. And Reason Magazine's editorial line during the prosecutions was often more critical of Trump than of the people trying to remove him. Tell me where a libertarian stands on Trump, and I'll tell you whether he's serious, useless, or actively hostile. Trump is the signal. Libertarians are noise. When the choice was Trump or the apex class that wants you eliminated, what did your libertarian friends choose? That answer tells you which category they're in. We don't have time to waste with the jokers anymore. The test is coming. The midterms are 6 months away. The progressive establishment is going to throw everything they have at retaking Congress. If they take it, Trump's agenda gets stalled. The apex class re-grips the institutional levers, and everything you just won goes back into the box. The libertarian test is the simplest possible question. Are you going to help Trump in the midterms or not? Are you going to swallow your pride and vote Republican in your district? Or are you going to perform purity, vote third party, sit it out, and let the progressives take Congress back? That is the test. The jokers will fail it. The serious libertarians will pass it. Which one are you? So what do I want from you? Grow up. There's a reason people criticize libertarians as childish. It's not that the ideas are wrong. The ideas are mostly right. The problem is the behavior, the way you carry yourself. You don't understand power. We know this because you don't have any. You have a hobby. Stop debating people who don't care if they win the argument. Next time someone shows up in your Facebook comments, your DMs, or your family group chats spewing economic ignorance, don't get angry. Don't spend 3 hours of your evening explaining marginal utility to someone who isn't going to change their mind. That's prey behavior. You just got caught in a trap. Recognize the trap. The people who pick fights with libertarians are not students seeking truth. They're predators using your time and your emotional energy to extract from you. They want to keep you busy with arguments that go nowhere so you don't have time for anything that matters. You think you're educating them. You're not. You're being extracted from. The power flow goes one direction, and it's not toward you. One direction mentioned. And here's the worst part. The other libertarians watching the argument, the ones nodding along on the sidelines, the ones liking your comments, they have no power either. They might vote libertarian once every 4 years. They might donate $20. That's the size of it. You're performing principles for an audience that can't reward them. This is Thomas Massey behavior. Prey performing for prey. If you want to be serious, follow the operators. Look to Angela McArdle. Look to Jeremy Kauffman. These are the people who understand framing, who understand how to drag opponents into battles they can win, who understand that winning a small battle now beats losing a big one later. They are imperfect. They make mistakes. They are going to mess up. I'll probably write an email about them too one day. I'm not perfect either. They might find flaws in this very email. They are still the serious ones. Dave Smith can be a force beyond recognition from what he is right now. He just has to grow up from his current posture. I hope he gets there. Now you, my dear reader, stop being prey. Stop performing ideas for people who can't reward them. Stop defending principles in spaces where the opponents only respect power. Stop debating commenters who only want extraction. Stop voting for polite losers who fight by your rules and lose every time. Vote Republican in the midterms, especially if it hurts your pride. That's the immediate test, not the abstract question of whether you support MAGA, the concrete question of whether you'll show up in November and pull the lever for the only candidate on the ballot who can hold your district for the alliance. If you can't do that, you're not in the fight, you're just performing. Recognize the predators. Ally with the ones that don't hate you. Become one yourself, if you have it in you. If you don't have it in you, find your champions and back them. Do not lead. That's the project. This do not lead, yes. Anybody with libertarian sympathies may not lead. You actively harm things. You actively make things worse. It's like giving an AK-47 to a chimp. I'm not going to lie to you about whether we can win. The Apex class has held the slot for 90 years. They're very good at what they do. Trump is the first counter-energy with predator instincts in living memory. The fight is real. The outcome is uncertain. But I'll tell you this. If we don't fight in the actual environment, we lose for sure. If we fight in the imaginary debate hall libertarians pretend exists, we lose for sure. If we play by the rules we wrote in our heads while the Apex class plays by the rules they wrote in our institutions, we lose for sure. The only way out is through the recognition that being right is not the same as winning. And being right while losing is not honorable. It's just losing. Stop being prey. I'm going to be writing to you every day until I'm dead. I'm building a book called Stop Being Prey. I'm starting an audio version of these emails. I'm building a community of people who get this. It's all coming. If you got this far, you're probably one of us. Stay close. Clay. And as always, the link to this, if you want to follow him, Stop Being Prey on X, and his website is stopbeingprey.com. The link to this article here, if you want to read it yourself, you want to share it with someone, it is available on the King Pilled Substack or the description of the podcast version of the show. A banger. The Losertarian problem. That prey behavior thing, the prey predator behavior thing, that is compelling. That's a very useful, compelling framing. And it hits a little close to home because I had that debate. I saw Politically Catholic mentioned in the chat here. I saw it go by out of the corner of my eye. That right here he says, so what's your plan to win power is the same question as your and then what tactic. Yeah, I debated Angela McArdle back around that time, and that was what the debate reduced to, was just, okay, and then what? You're going to do all of this, and then what? Now I have to say in retrospect that I'm
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Thank you for resubscribing, Slutty Milk. In retrospect, I think she actually wound up making good use of her power. She figured out her and then what, which is, I'm impressed. Very impressed. Politically Catholic says, Matt, how much more money do we need to do the Yarvin interview tomorrow morning? How much more money do we need to do the Yarvin interview tomorrow morning? Well, let's see. The goal is 400. You can get to the goal. I'll tell you. I'll just be honest. I was already planning on doing it tomorrow. So you're welcome to send more money. But I was going to say, I was going to do it tomorrow. Did you mean to do it tonight? If you want me to do it tonight, you'd have to hit the goal. I will stay here and I will do the Yarvin interview tonight. If somebody gets us to the goal right now. And then tomorrow. Okay, yeah. I was already planning on doing it tomorrow. So I guess maybe I'll give it a minute here if someone thinks that they want to hit the goal tonight and they want me to do it. But I would imagine we can just do it tomorrow. I do have some work I have to get done tonight. King Pill time is made up and fake. A reminder, I will be creating, for those of you who maybe weren't here at the start, I'm going to be starting to do an interview show here in the near future, getting the things in order for that. And I'll be creating a second YouTube channel that I'll be posting those out. So I'm gonna record the conversations with getting a conversation scheduled with someone. I need to keep my schedule as open as possible and be able to be flexible to connect with people. So I'll record the conversations, but I will live stream the recordings. I'm just going to create a private group for live streaming the recordings and be raw, no ads, that sort of thing. And you guys can whoever signs up with that group, you guys can interact with me and the guest, and then I will clean them up a little bit and post them out on YouTube because I want to try to grow the YouTube channel with YouTube friendly content, and then use that as a funnel back into the lab, because the lab is just really it's difficult to achieve penetration and grow it. There's a lot of things that I might be able to do, but I kind of have to compromise the format of the show, and so it just doesn't. It's going to be better, I think, to start doing the interviews, and I've got a whole long list of people that I want to talk to. I've genuinely been wanting to talk to them for a while. So this gives me an excuse for that, and which is kind of cool. Then there's a lot of people that I could just be like, "Hey, you want to have a conversation with me?" And otherwise, I wouldn't like be like, "Hey, can you call me on the phone?" That would be really weird. But I can be like, "Hey, do you want to come have a conversation with me on my show and engage with my chat?" I happen to have a uniquely clever, intelligent, insightful chat, so it makes for kind of like a three-way, like a three-way between me, the guest, and the chat. We have a party together. So that's be on the lookout for that. That will be coming down the pike here in the not too distant future. You should go join the King Pill Discord, kingpill.com. I'll tell you this: all of the King Pill Discord members will not have to. They'll have no paywall for getting the live streams with the guests. If you're part of the Discord, that'll just be a free extra bonus for you. So go join the King Pill Discord, kingpill.com. We are going to have a voice chat tomorrow evening, and I actually have some ideas, some thoughts on some stuff that I want to bounce off of you guys. So those of you who are in the Discord, make sure you show up for that, and follow me on X. Share the show with people. Let them know. I know that Kick is a pain in the ass, but there's reasons frankly, it's a decent income generator, even with the audience relatively small. So I gotta keep sticking with it because I gotta pay the bills. So thank you to all of you guys for your contributions tonight. Thank you for listening. Thank you for entertaining me. And if you're listening on the podcast version, please leave a 5-star rating and a review. Gotta keep growing everything. And I will be back tomorrow for another episode of The Astrolabe. Until then, I leave you with Hulk.
When they took a shot at my hero, and they tried to kill the next president of the United States, enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania